All right, welcome back. So today's gonna be a little bit different. I have my headphones in, so you can't hear my music. I'm gonna pause that. And I don't like wearing headphones for a long period of time. But anywho, what do we do between recordings? I have some notes here. I built this Asana page. I like Asana. Asana is definitely my go-to for organizing my thoughts. So I created an ideas section for like things that are less priority, a later section for things I want to do later, things I want to do next, things I want to do right now. So ideally this is the stuff I want to work on in this video. When I want to code, I kind of like to get into the zone. So I like to put some jams on, but unfortunately, YouTube, of course, won't let me play music. So that's why I got my headphones. So I set up Asana. That was one of the things I did. I changed the tent to 0 to, okay, yeah. So if you come over here into the script, the pillars were getting too dark. Like you couldn't see them. It was as if they were unlit black when they got really dark. So I changed the range to be 0.1 to 1. And I have a operator util I actually built for this specifically, and it's called get random number from range. You provide a start value, you provide an end value, and then if you want it to be a whole number, you set it to true for is integer. And then down here it just does some math, and you can explore that later if you'd like. But that's basically what that does, and cool. Yep, so now we have the color changed. Added new utility, we talked about that. Need to add the UI API and download API. So that's the next step. I haven't actually done that yet. So first thing I wanted to do was go, and I'm trying to show you some of my Mac practices. As you can tell, I'm developing on a Mac today. This is my preferred platform to code on, and it's mostly because my keyboard is pretty bad, and Horizon's honestly just super laggy on my Windows today, and it just kind of stinks. But we'll go back to Gotta Lotta Lava, hit scripts, and this is from that horizon.meta.com. Top right, you'll see the creator tools, which brings you here, which is creator/world_all. And then here we can download the scripts, but we can also enable APIs. So I'm gonna hit the gear icon and turn on the UI API. I don't think we need anything else yet, so we'll just hit apply. Then I'm gonna go click download, and then I save this into the Gotta Lotta Lava folder. I have a scripts folder, and then I just save it right into the scripts folder, and I'll show you what I do with that in just a sec. So now that I'm done with that script, we'll go and open that folder, and then I've got a version history that I like to put this into, but let's first open this up, and then we're going to go into Gotta Lotta Lava, and we just need the UI API. This is all I needed from here. Now, normally I delete this version 1 API and just work out of this, but because I've been modifying this, I need to delete this because the one I'm actually using is this current one, as there are some changes I haven't applied to the live. So I'll just drag this UI API into my types folder. And now, because this isn't actually a representative version, I'm gonna move it to trash, but normally I'd put it into the versions history and then remove the front end so it just says the date and time that it was downloaded. And that's kind of the process I go about getting these files. Okay, so then back over here, we've opened this up in VS Code. And just to quickly show you what that looks like, in case you've never done that before, we can now close out of this, go back to our Gotta Lotta Lava. And then we'll just open this up, and then that's going to click on this, click open folder. It'll then provide the folder that that file was in. Clicking enter, that'll open that folder and show all of our scripts. And that's pretty neat too. Noticing here, we're not using texture asset data anymore, so we can actually delete that. Press Command Save, and voila, very nice. Okay, so with that coming along nicely, the next thing we want to work on is gonna be deleting, or no, I don't delete tasks. What I do is I move it into the completed section. That's right. And then I've got a bug section here too. If I run into any bugs, I can mark them down. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do was make, honestly, the JSON stats PPV, and today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm kind of just going to be in the zone, so I might not be talking. You might just have to follow along with your eyes. But I probably will talk a little bit, but I'm going to put my music on because I just want to jam. So here we go. All right, now I've got that on. I don't want to turn the volume down really low. Okay, so I got JSON stats PPV as our next target. So if you're in the MHCP, I have a whole tutorial on this. And you have to be in the MHCP to use these tools, so you should be. And you can find it. I can't show you. But if you're in the MHCP Discord, there's a tutorial section, and you'll see there's a Vidyuu crash course tutorial. And if you go into that, there's a link to the JSON PPV tutorial, which has step-by-step how to do what we're about to do. The one we're going to do, though, is going to be a little bit simpler, a little bit different, just kind of my newest methodology. So we've got player data defs. This defines our player data. We now need to define our player stats. And I'm debating, I think the way I want to do this, so we're going to click Reveal in File Explorer or in Finder, and we're going to duplicate this and call this player stats defs. Right. And then I'm also going to need a func. So duplicate this and then call this one func. All right, now we're going to open this up. There we go. And so I'm just going to change this up a little bit. Player data or player stats underscore func. And this is it's a const. Don't need that. Control A, Control C, Control Save, Control A, Control V. Oh, actually, this one's different because this is a type. This is in defs. This is player stats. And we don't have any stats yet, so we'll delete all that for now. Command save. And then what we want to do is in player data, add player stats, which we'll just store as stats. So you go player data dot stats, which will be a type player stats. Clicking enter imports it. There we go. Command save. And then we can define our player stats here. And then in player stats function, I want to create a function that creates an empty. And so it's going to say function create empty player stats. There we go, which will return a type player stats. And so we type return and then curly braces, and then we can fill this out. Now there's nothing in it yet, so that just works like that. We then need to put this into our exports. Control V, comma, Shift Alt F, Control Save. Okay, so now we've exported that function, and there is one bug somewhere in our script. It should be in the player data entity, because right here, when the player enters the world, we're setting up their player data, but it needs a stats. And so what we need to do for now is type stats colon, and then player stats func, which I set up the name incorrect. Let's rename this to be lowercase, and Control Save. Player stats func, there we go. And then dot create empty player stats, and then call it with parentheses and then comma. Okay, so now we've set up our empty player stats. And then what we need to do is initialize this based off of a player persistent variable. So to do that, we're going to need a new function, which is going to be something like function. Let's see. Get new player stats. No. Update player stats from PPV, parentheses, curly braces. And this is going to take a player, which will be of type player, and a player data, which will be of type player data. There we go. Now this could theoretically just be a player stats, not a player data, but player data gets us access to everything. So if there's something we need in the future from that, we will have it. And now we need to export this, Command C, Command V, and here we're going to need to get PPV and update to latest version. And we also need to get version from debug. Oh man, my brain. Sip some bubbles. My brain's kind of fried. I think it's just the talking out loud, to be honest. But I really wanted to like capture the entire process of creating this. This is also the second video I've made today. Although I'm assuming this will be posted tomorrow. Okay. Get PPV and update to latest version. Get PPV and update to latest version. There's so many things to do. We need to create a file for this. We need to create a file for this. But we want to start by just getting this player data entity working correctly. So we've set the player data in the map. And then we want to call player stats function dot update player stats from PPV, and then parentheses, type in player, comma, and then we have their player data, and we're done. Command save. So now once this is set up, this will update their player stats. Okay, so now player stats needs a persistent variable, and I'm not sure what I'd call this file. I've done this a few times, but we're just going to create a new file, duplicate, and then we're going to name this persistent storage underscore data. But it's not just persistent storage, it's also like leaderboards. So these are like var names, but it's like it's two things. It's PPV and leaderboard names underscore data. It's a long name for a script. PPV and leaderboard names. Okay, that'll work. All right, so now we're going to open this up, and we need to export this as a constant called PPV leaderboard names underscore data. I like this name better. Let's rename the file to match that. Rename PPV leaderboard names. Perfect. Okay. And now we can create a folder. So folder 1 will be called JSON PPV JSON PPVs colon, and then curly braces, comma, and then we need another folder which is going to be called number PPVs colon curly braces. We might not use number PPVs, but in case we do, we have it. And then we need leaderboards colon curly braces, comma. Okay, so we got 3 folders when you call this data. And the JSON PPVs, we're going to have one called player stats, which is going to be player stats. And we'll need to create this. And so what I want to do is make sure that we have on our to-do list for right now, create, doesn't seem to be here. So I'm going to JSON stats PPV. It's like there's this information about it. Okay, I'm going to write down in desktop editor colon create player stats JSON PPV. The only other thing is that it also needs a variable group. So we need to create the variable group for this. So the variable group is going to be called Gotta Lotta Lava player stats JSON PPV. Okay, PPV and variable group. Okay, so there's very detailed information on what I need to do when I get to the desktop editor to make this work. And that pointed out that we needed to list the variable group. So player stats needs to know what the variable group is too. And so the variable group goes first, which we said was going to be called Gotta Lotta Lava. And then you put a colon between it, and then that's the variable inside of it. Okay, so that's our JSON PPV. We do want leaderboards and stuff later, but we're not doing that right now. We're just using this, so we'll just leave it like this for now. Now, we're going to go into player stats function, get version from debug. Let's see. We need a debug file to know what version we're in. So let's go create something like that. I'm trying to think. I don't have to put it. Basically, every time we update the player stats file here, we also need to update the player stats version. I wonder, can we type version colon, and then instead of typing number, we just type in the value. So we're currently going to start with version 1. It seems to be okay with that. So it says version is equal to 1. Nice. And then we could have some other property like fastest, or excuse me, it's not fastest time, it's longest time, which will start as, we'll say it's a number. And now this is a number, whereas this is a 1. And so down here, what we can do in player stats when we're creating this, theoretically, is type I wonder, version, comma? Doesn't like that. So it says version must be 1. I guess what it'll make me do is every time I update the version here, I'll have to retype it there. That's not the ideal. I'll think about that some more. And then the next variable was called longest time. Usually I put this in a debug file, but I'm not happy with that either. So just trying to create better methodologies. So this works, but this isn't something I want to do because I hate putting data in a defs file, but because I want this to be right next to it, export constant player stats version equals 1. And then this is player stats version. Oh, it does not let me do that. I guess I can just say it's a number. Okay. Command save. And then here we can just replace this with player stats version. And since it should be fine. Like the naming convention is supposed to create flow. I try to think about it like a river. Like you have your entity, which talks to your function, and your function knows about your data and your defs. And like you kind of think about it flowing, and you never want to have things flowing, quote, upstream, which can create circular dependencies. Circular dependencies are bad. So that's why all of these crazy naming conventions exist. That's a talk for another day, to be honest. But anyway, so we've got version only needs to be changed here. So far so good. I'm really not going to get into crazy detail. Like genuinely, once you're in the MHCP, feel free to ask for the document that details this whole thing. It's like a 30-page document I made. It has a lot more information like on the version, updating versions. So anything I might miss could be in there. My brain's just kind of in too many places right now to be able to do a tutorial at the same time, because this is just like, let's build, not let's teach. Sorry. So there's a little difference there. If it is something you'd like an independent tutorial on, like the one I just did on images, feel free to ask. And one of the things I liked about that was the fact that I was able to dive in deeper. I know it's 30 minutes, so I made the following day I made a 3-minute version, right? But the point is, there was a lot of information conveyed. Like I went in detail on how to make the first script and some of the other properties, and all the little caveats and things, which is what I just don't have time for in these little videos. These are kind of more like, come see what I'm building, check it out, learn how to do what I'm doing, sort of thing. Anyway, I hope it's helpful. And these are also like super unedited, right? Very just kind of off the cuff, free form, which I hope you appreciate too. Okay, so player stats underscore defs is set up. And when we add a new variable here, we'll update the version, which then allows us to create our update player stats from PPV. So what we need to do is say, and I'm curious, does our player data file, it does not. So the only place we currently have, this is why I have a game manager. It's probably for this very specific reason, because it's a very clear place to store component. Whereas right now my component is currently being stored in, where did we store that? Utility. Did we get rid of it? I know there's component being stored somewhere, and then we were sharing it, which I was like, this isn't great. Oh, it's the pop-up utility. Yeah, pop-up data. I think we're gonna create a component utility, and this is just gonna make our life easier. And I need to create a note in here. So in desktop, attach component utility script, utility script to empty. Okay, so then we're gonna need to go to pop-up data, which only stores a component. Yeah. And we're gonna just rename this and call this util component underscore data, util component underscore data, and then we'll duplicate this and call, actually, move to trash. We have the pop-up pop-up entity, which I think is literally, that's all it's there for. So we're gonna change this to util component underscore entity. There we go. And then we'll open that up, and we'll open up this one as well. And we're gonna rename this as component util underscore data. Cool. So you call component util underscore data dot component, command save, and then in here, deleting this, renaming this to component util component entity, command C, command B, command V, and then we type in component util data dot component, command save. Cool. So this needs to be attached to something. That gives us access to this, which is going to break our pop-up function, but that's okay. So we can delete that, and then pop-up function will rely on the component util, which is fine. Command C, save. And then there was one other place we were using that. So let's search for pop-up underscore data. It was in utility action. Ah, yes, utility action was the other place I was hacking it together. And this is now component util data. Command save. Okay, cool. fixed it. Okie doke. So now pop-ups are good. Player stats can now utilize that, because the only way to access player persistent variables is to have access to a component, which gives us access to the world. Ah, that reminds me. We need to save their stats regularly. Player stats function. We could put this in either player data function. Oopsie. We could put it in player data function, which we don't have, or we can keep it in player stats function. Since it's specifically related to player stats, we're going to call this function update player stats PPV, parentheses, curly braces, which will take the same parameters. I think we're going to start here because this will make this easier. Command V. Oh, man. I don't really enjoy wearing headphones, so it's kind of like, ah, my ears. I just took my right one out for a second. Okay, yeah, I might pause the music. As much as I love music, that was just getting to be too much. Let's set those back in their case. Noise. Okay, dokie. Update player stats PPV. Think. Ah, right. Let's first start by exporting it so it's available everywhere. Update player stats from PPV. Update player stats PPV. So this updates the player stats PPV. This updates player data. Update player data stats from PPV. Update player data player stats from PPV. I want to make this a lot more verbose so it's very clear what it's doing. Update player data player stats from PPV. Update player data stats or player stats. Yeah. So later me will be very happy that it's very clear. So now we can click enter, command save. Now, this update player stats PPV is going to go component util dot component dot persistent storage. No, it's world dot persistent storage dot set player variable parentheses. The player is the player parameter. The key is going to be we called that PPV leaderboard names data dot JSON PPVs dot player stats, and then the value is player data dot stats, and that's going to update the JSON object. Control save, command save. All right, so that update player stats pretty straightforward. I wish updating the PPV or the player data was as easy. It's not. So we have to start by getting the value, and we do this by saying const stats, constant stats of type player stats equals, and then we get their data. Yeah, so we say world, which is accessed from component utils dot component dot world dot persistent storage dot get player variable parentheses player comma, and then we do the PPV leaderboard names dot JSON PPVs dot player stats comma, and then we need to provide. Oh no, we don't provide anything else, right? Okay, so now that's going to return, if we hover on stats, player stats null or undefined is not a style player stats. Because we didn't declare it to be that. We can remove this type declaration, and we hover over it, we can see, okay, it's either going to be a number undefined. Okay, so it's unhappy because we do need to be very specific. Command Z. Okay, so it's player stats, null, or undefined. So it's one of these three things. And now stats is happy because it's like, I don't know what the heck I'm going to be. So what we do is we say, if stats is defined, we know that the player has been here before. If they haven't been here before, we don't need to do anything else because we set the player data to be a default empty. Remember, we use that create empty player in player data right here to create it right on start. So they've got an empty player data with the default, but if they have been here before, we need to import the previous stuff. And so what we can say is if parentheses player stats, or so player data dot stats dot version is greater than or equal to 1, and then stuff from version 1 goes here. And so we have longest time. And so we can type player data dot stats dot longest time equals stats dot longest time. Ta-da! Okay, we've updated that. Now, say we add another one in the future. We type something very similar. We say if parentheses player data dot stats dot version is greater than or equal to version 2, and then stuff we added to stats version 2 goes in here, and so on for every version thereafter. The reason we do this is so that if a player comes in, let's say at version 1, and we didn't check, then there's no value, and we've just overwritten their value here in stats with an undefined value because there was nothing defined for it. So this prevents overwriting data with undefined. So there are other ways like that you could probably go about this, but this is the way that I recommend you think about it. So Control save. The versions will also save you a lot of headache later on too, if you need to do something really finicky. Like the other day I had a thing where in Power Wash we changed an algorithm, and by changing that algorithm, the variables, we added new variables and old variables became kind of like used differently. And so I was able to say, okay, if you're at this version or less than, we're going to treat you differently. And then from this version forward, we're going to treat you differently. And so I had, a less than symbol rather than a greater than or equal to address older visitors and how we dealt with that. Anyway, so cool stuff. So now that we've got our player stats set up and updated, and we know how to continue updating it, we should probably create some more player stats, but I really don't want to yet because we haven't even utilized this longest time. So I'm gonna put a red dot because it's not utilized yet. And let's go ahead and just check off JSON stats is done. Okay, longest time survived turns into the winner is something I really want to do. I also want to do the custom UI with top 5, longest lasted all-time leaderboard, and a daily leaderboard. And we're going to need to save this to the persistent variable as well. You don't have to, but it's nice to. So longest time. So we're calling it, are we really calling this longest lasted? We could call it furthest, but I think longest time, longest lasted all time is the name of this variable. Command C, Command save, which means we'll need to update it over here. Command V, Command V, Command V, Command save. And that's also true if you rename variables. If you rename a variable, that can be very problematic. So I don't recommend renaming variables once you create it. Just like suck it up and do better next time. Because renaming causes this thing where you have to, like, say we had already had a version 1, we would then need to differentiate version 1 as longest time, and then you get this red underline where it's like, I'm unhappy, and it's just never gonna not be unhappy. Like, can't add an exclamation point. Anyway, just don't rename. Just do it right the first time. Shift Alt Z. Oh no, that's not it. Command Shift Z. How am I losing my brain today? longest, there we go, command save. So now let's utilize that, but we also wanted to do 2 leaderboards. So we wanted a longest lasted daily, which will be longest lasted daily. And then we also want another one, which will be longest lasted all time. And then we'll replace daily with all time as well. There we go. So we got our 2 leaderboards, which we'll now need to create when we get into desktop. So I'll say in desktop colon create leaderboards. Leaderboards. And we need a reset daily resetting called longest lasted daily, and a normal called longest lasted all time. Okay, got those in my notes, so things to do when we get to the desktop editor. And so to use this, we know when the game ends, kind of. We don't have any sort of game manager, which is kind of just an interesting way of thinking of this. And I don't really plan to add a game manager. We're just going to kind of keep tying into things. So our lava group kind of knows when everything's happening. It's kind of the control brains for everything right now because it's changing how the lava goes up. Okay, we freaking need a game manager. It's time. What the hell am I? What the heck am I thinking about? Lava group. Oh boy, there's some big plans I have in mind that are they're going to need a game manager. I've not really needed a game manager for so long that this is kind of weird for me. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just strange to even think about needing a game manager. Okay, so we're going to start by opening up the game manager entity. We're going to rename this symbol to game manager, so it's very clear that's not a lava group game manager entity. That resets it everywhere that was being used. And then lava group entity needs to be referenced on the properties panel of the game manager. So we need to know about the lava group. And then we'll just call this curly braces type colon prop types dot entity comma control save. Okay, so now that we got our lava group set up, previous player count equals 0, origin position is being set to this dot props dot lava group dot position dot get. Now this might be undefined. Origin position cannot be undefined. So what you can do instead, just a shorthand here, is do question mark vec3 dot 0, and that means it'll be set to 0, which isn't great. And then destination position needs to be origin position. What was that saying? That said, ooh, Command Shift C, getting Command Z position. This should say this dot origin position dot add. So that's adding the destination position. And then after we add the destination position, I actually want to offset the origin position just slightly. So we're going to say this dot origin position equals, and you can do add in place, but I really don't want to. I will, but I feel like this is more prone to errors. I had an error and now I'm like afraid to use this. New vec3 0, 0.1, 0.2. We'll try 0.2. And then 0. This is to get rid of those small hexagons. So if you don't remember this, I can quickly show you. We're gonna look at the game for the first time in a while. I wish you could update the scripts from the website so I could just like actually have a Mac, like I'd have half of a Mac editor because I can preview. If you update the scripts on the website, it doesn't seem to update the preview version. Like maybe it does after a period of time, but I haven't tested it that far. I've always found that you have to go in VR or desktop editor. So if you look down there, you'll see there's a bunch of these flat tiles, and those flat tiles I don't want to be visible. I want those to be gone. so that you actually have pools of lava all the time. And I had set it up initially so that see, they disappear as soon as the game starts. And that's what it's really supposed to look like. But yeah, you get the idea. So fun stuff. Okay, closing out of this. Is my Bluetooth headphones still on? That's weird. Turn those off. There we go. Okay, so back over here, we've gone to the origin position and we've added it in place. We set the async.setInterval, this.loop.bind this. And for now, this is okay. We're counting the active player counts, doing all this stuff. We're doing over time. Instead, rather than moving this.entity, we now want to move this.props.lava group. And we'll need to verify lava group. So what I'd like to do is do this. I'm just going to say if parentheses props.lava group, because if there really is this not being defined, I've made a mistake and I need to fix it. And so this needs a console.log parentheses. And I don't think I've brought in, I have a utility file for this as well, but that's okay, I haven't brought it in yet. And so we'd say lava group returned undefined on game manager underscore entity colon start. There we go. And so I like to do that sort of thing. And then what I can do is move all of this up to here. And then instead of having this question mark here, I can remove that. And rather than having these question marks here, I can remove that. And now it's a lot cleaner. And the loop won't even run, so it just kind of stops. Now what I can do after the bind this, I believe this goes here. We can type comma props.lava group and then pass in a parameter here called lava group colon entity. And then we can just remove this dot props from that and then change this dot entity to also to lava group. There we go. And now that that's set up, I think we're good. And I'm pretty sure this is the order. Let's go to our to-do list and make sure to write down in desktop colon create empty game manager reference lava group. Okay, it's on the notes. And now if we go back over here, let's see. We got the loop set up. We're doing overtime on the lava group. Previous active player account player for each. I would like to break this out, move this stuff into game manager underscore func. That is to do, or a dot. Okay, so we got that to do item. Now we need to update the player stuff, and this is just going to continue being a little bit hacky for a little bit longer. So we have the starting happening here, and we know that when we're starting, move to origin position. So if active player count triple equals 0, we end the game. This is when we've ended the game. But this is going to run once. Yes, we did set this up to only run once, so that's good. And then this is going to start the game by moving it up over 90 seconds. And then player data dot for each player, it sets the current player time equal to 0. What we can also do right before we set the player time to 0 is update stats. And this could happen in the player stats function, but so update stats should also update PPV. We'll just leave a note there for us to later. And so what we're going to do is just for now go to player data dot stats dot longest lasted all time and set this to be equal to math dot max parentheses, and then this is going to be player data dot stats dot longest lasted all time, comma and then the current playtime, which is player data dot current playtime. So that updates their longest lasted time to be whichever is larger. And what I want to do is in this pop-up, the pop-up right now is just like a temporary placeholder until we can get a custom UI, which in VR will be on their hand, and on desktop or cross screens will be like an overlay. And so what I want to do is display their max time. And so right now we have this right here. Let's create a constant called display me just for now. And this will be equal to this value here, Command X, Command V, and we can type display me here. And then what I wanted to add to this with was add a break. So that breaks it to the next line inside there. And then on the next line, we'll say longest so actually we'll just do parentheses. We'll make it really simple. So you won't know exactly what it is, but you should be able to infer pretty well. So then plus, and then we'll have the player data dot stats dot longest lasted all time, and then plus another parentheses there, and then semicolon. Okay. So now we're displaying the current display time and the longest lasted time, so that way you actually know what you're trying to beat, which is kind of cool. Ideally, that'll be, like I said, a lot prettier in the future. Now we're updating the longest lasted all time. That's great. That means under our player stats definitions, I'd had a red dot here. It's done. Player stats function, was it? No, it's all good. We got that fixed. So then we're going to close out of some of these that we're not using. We now need to do these two leaderboards. And the curious question is, if the current time is the longest lasted time, that's the only time we need to update it. So right here, because updating leaderboards is a little bit, it causes more networking traffic. We want to reduce the amount of networking traffic. This is like over optimizing, but it's nice to do that for future me, just in case. And so what we're going to type is if player data dot current playtime triple equals player data dot stats dot longest lasted time. That means we just updated their longest lasted time to the current time, which is great. So we can then say, now this is inside of a component, but we're going to be moving this out. So I will want to use component data dot component dot leaderboard. I think that's still in world dot leaderboards. There it is, dot set score for player parentheses. And then we need the leaderboard name, which is in PPV leaderboards dot, we'll do daily, and then comma, and then the player, and then comma, and then the score is player data dot, it could be current play time, but we'll do stats dot longest lasted time, just so it's easier to read. Command C, Command V, and then we'll change this to longest lasted all time. And now we've updated both of these values, and this is upset because, oh, I forgot to provide the Boolean for whether or not to override it. We do not want to override it. So if for some reason this is wrong, we don't want to accidentally delete their data. So we use false. Okay. Yep, so that is now set up to use leaderboards, and we can just check off longest lasted, longest time survived. Those are done. Longest lasted all time leaderboard. Oh, I didn't do this. Silly me, I misread it. Longest lasted all time. No, there it is. Yeah, this is the one that's not done yet. Longest time survived. Move lava start position up just slightly. We did adjust that. Cool. So we got 4 tasks here for the desktop editor. We have a custom UI I want to build, which is best done on the desktop editor. Longest time survived equals the winner. What I want to do there is take the pillar that's closest to 0, 0, rise it up, and place the player on top of it. and then have some sort of sign with their name to show them off until the next game starts. I think that would be really cool, especially because everybody's teleported to the outside of the ring and then they're all looking in at that player. So that seems pretty good. We also have to set the world to 16. I want to add my wife KO as a tester so we can play on our phone together. Because she's been wanting to play, but I'm like, I forgot to add you as a tester, sorry. Difficulty levels. This is something I really want to work on, which is going to tie in leaderboards, daily fastest time, monthly most outlasted, tallest hat. We haven't done those things. So we'll get back to that. But difficulty levels would be really fun. I guess we can't really do all these leaderboards until we add some other features. So I'm going to move this back over here for now. Set world to 16 players. Add guest tester difficulty levels. So we want to do results CUI. Longest time survived equals winner. I kind of want to do that on the desktop editor as well. So I'm going to move all of the desktop editor stuff into the next category because that's what we're doing next. And then the last thing we're going to do on my Mac before going over to the desktop is, I think, the difficulty levels. Although this needs to be visualized, so that's really kind of a, well then, I guess we're going to the desktop editor. Longest time survived turns into winner. Let's quickly fix up our code though to be prettier. So what we want to do is create a new function file. So we'll create duplicate of this, rename this game manager underscore func, and then open that up, Command A backspace, export constant game manager underscore func equals curly braces, and then down here we need to create some functions. And so we're going to call this the loop parentheses. So this is our first function, and loop is going to be basically the same loop, and we're just going to cut and paste all of this out of here. Command X, and I missed something, Command C. Let's try that again. All of this is quite a bit. It really is quite a bit. Command X. Okay, and then we'll paste that right here. Nice. And then loop is going to be received with the lava group, which was an entity. And then we need to export loop, so Command C, Command V, comma, Command save. And then if we go back up here, we can delete this loop. Basically, I really do not like using entities for running, or like these component classes to have my stuff in. So I try very hard to not use them at all, if possible. And so that's what we're doing here. So instead of using this .loop.bind this, we're going to call game manager function .loop. There we go. And then that is going to work. I'm going to show you the way that I would actually write this though, because there's another way to write async where you type an arrow function. So you do parentheses, arrow, curly braces, and then inside the curly braces is what you're going to run in the interval. And this is going to be game manager func .loop parentheses. We need to pass the entity, which is props.lava group. There we go. Now this is unhappy because in this interval, it is aware that it might not be defined. And so what we can do is add another if statement here and say if parentheses props.lava group, because technically, while this is not going to happen, you could somewhere else, like say a trigger enter or something, set lava group to be undefined, because if you hover over it, lava group, maybe it doesn't show here, but lava group can be undefined, right? So you could change it to be undefined mid-game. Don't do that. But yeah, so anyway, there we go. Now we've set that up, and props.add in place. We've got our origin position and destination position, but we want to set these to be like stored somewhere else. Also, previous player count will need to be stored somewhere else. So what we need next is a game manager data file. So we're going to duplicate this game manager func, and call this game manager data. Now this is where I typically would have put the component, but in this case, we aren't going to. So backspace, and this is going to be underscore data. And the data that we need to store is origin position, which is the lava group origin position. So let's be very clear about that. Lava group origin position, which is going to default to vec3.0. And then we need the, Control-Z, Control-C, Control-V, lava group destination position. There we go. And we also need to know the count, but yeah, okay, previous player count. No, we can't put that. Okay, this is like very loop specific stuff. We're not going to put that inside of here. So anyway, we can delete all of this stuff. And then rather than doing this dot origin position, we can call, let's make sure to click save and backspace this unneeded entity. There we go, Control save. And now over here, we can call game manager data dot lava group origin position, and then going to do that again, but for destination position. So we say game manager data dot lava group destination position equals game manager data dot lava group origin position, and then game manager data dot lava group origin position, add in place 0.2. Cool, so we've updated those values on start, and we then started the loop on start. We've got our console log if needed, and all looks good. Command save. Now, game manager function can utilize this, and so let active player count equal 0, and then we needed to know about the previous player count. Where do we have that? Previous player count, there it is, Command C. And so we're going to create this right above. This is something I do very, very rarely, but when I do, it has a good reason. So previous player count equals 0. And I put this right above the function with just a singular space, right? I do double space to separate stuff and then single space. This is a personal choice, but it helps me organize my thoughts. And now previous player count is very directly associated with loop. That's the reason I'm putting it here and not in the data file. Okay. Now in loop, we need access to the player data map, which we need to re-import, backspace the P, retype, click enter. That fixes that one. Then we have previous player count. We just delete the this dot. Now it's happy. And then over time needs to be imported. So backspace the E, click enter. We had origin position here, which we can now replace with game manager data dot origin position. Nice. And then we can delete the this dot for previous player count. We can change this to game manager data dot destination position. Nice. And then we have component utility data needs to be imported. So backspace the A, click enter. And then we have PV leaderboard data that needs to be imported. And previous player count can be deleted there. Pop-up function needs to be imported. And now our script is super happy. So all those imports is what we were fixing. And yeah, that's basically going to do the same thing, but it's externalized. And I basically try to put as very little inside this class as possible and put most of it into functions like this. And I find that helps me organize my thoughts. Now, let's fix this bug too. It says update stats should also update PPV. So when we update the stats, what we're saying here is that we want to call player stats function dot update player stats PPV parentheses player comma player data. It should be that simple. I mean, but we only want to do that if we updated the stats, right? So we don't know if we updated the stats, but we do know if we updated the stats because that's why we're updating the leaderboard, right? In this specific case, yeah. In this specific case, we know that we've updated the stats because the leaderboard matches the current playtime. Otherwise, nothing was changed. Or their current playtime was less. Yeah. There's a bunch of other stats that need to be updated too. And so this is where this is kind of hard to read and understand what's going on. So we want to create some helper functions. And so let's just do that, right? Shift Alt F to reformat. There we go. So the first helper function we're going to need is right here, which is calculating how many players have played. Now there is a way to write this in one line. I'm just not super familiar with it. So I don't use ChatGPT often, but this would be a good place to do that. I'm going to say Command C, go to my friend ChatGPT. Because when you're looking for simple examples, it's actually pretty decent at that. Show me a easier way to count the number of items that have a matching condition. It's like I've done this, but not enough to have it memorized. Really? Okay. So it creates an array from the player data maps, and then it uses filter. Man, is that actually easier? This converts the map values to an array and then uses filter by the isPlaying condition. Let's ask it, is this more efficient than the for each example? Like it might be, because for each calls a brand new function. Oh, but no, it says it's not. It's not necessarily more efficient than for each loop. Here's why. Memory usage. The filter approach creates a new array to hold all the matching items, which can increase memory usage, especially with a large data set. In contrast, for each only maintains a single time complexity. Both methods have a similar time complexity, okay? Since they both need to iterate over each item. However, the filter method does a bit more work by allocating memory for a new array, okay? Conclusion, for each loop is slightly more efficient. I don't know if I totally agree with this. I think the filter is harder to read. If I'm being completely honest, the reason I'm going to choose to use my original method is I find this harder to read, even though you can do it in a single line. If you're coming back through this and saying, what the heck is this doing? Active player count makes an array, gets all this. Like, what I'm going to show you, I think, is going to be slightly easier for our future self, which is to create a function down here called, and this is correlated, so I put only one gap because it's a correlated function. So I say function, like I said, that's personal preference. And this is going to count the active players. So we'll call this get active player count, which is going to return a number, curly braces, enter. Oh, I need to put parentheses here. And then we are going to do exactly what this did. So Command C, then Command V, and then just return the active player count. There we go. Simple as that. And so now we call this get active player count function in place of this, and we just replace the 0 and call get active player count, parentheses, semicolon. And so that's going to return the number of active players. And this is now a constant, not a let. Okay. And next up, we have previous player count doesn't equal active player count. We're doing some stuff. Let's stick with simple stuff for now because there's a lot going on in here to break down. Let's stick to this last bit. So this last bit says increase current playtime and display pop-up. So what the displaying pop-up is a current means to an end. What this really does is it updates the playtime, so it increases playtime and updates player display. So we'll create a helper function here called function increase active player time and update displayed time. Parentheses, curly braces. Increase active player time and update displayed time. Function names being long, I'm a huge fan of. I know some people might not be. But the naming has got to be as clear as day, because the idea is that we want to make this script readable so that you never have to access this function again unless you need to update something related to this. So we're going to click Command X. We'll type increase active player parentheses. So that's going to call the function, and then the function is going to run the same exact code, And so in the future, when we want to update the way the display is, instead of using a pop-up, we'll come down here and then update this section of this code. But for the most part, we don't need to change the getting active player account. We don't need to change the increase in active player. So it makes this loop a lot easier to read. Now we got to get to the hard meat of this. And so now we're saying if the previous player count does not equal the active player count. Oh, this is interesting. No, this is fine. Okay, so if previous player count does not equal active player count, we know that there's been a change, and we want to check if the player count has equaled 0, and if it does, we're doing some stuff. So basically, what we're saying is if previous player count doesn't equal active player count, check for status, like game state change. So we're going to go down here and create a function. And I'm trying to keep these in chronological order as well. So we'll call this function check for, or this really does update the status. Check and update game state. But it's not really updating the state. Well, it is. Update game. I would call this status more than anything, because the state is going to be that thing I wanted to work on later where we have friendly, easy, medium, hard, and nightmare modes. And check and update game status. So now we have to copy all of this that's happening inside of this set of if statements. If previous player count then equals active player count. So after we're done, we update that. So now we're going to click Command X, and then we call check and update game status, parentheses, and then Command V, Shift Alt F. Now this says if active player count triple equals 0. So this needs access to the lava group, and it needs access to the active player count. So we're going to pass these parameters in. We'll start with lava group colon entity, and then comma active player count colon number. And now that we have those parameters being passed, we'll get an error up here because we need to pass the parameters. We'll pass the lava group and then comma active player count. And now that we've done that, this is happy. And so it says check and update game status. Now this makes this loop really easy to read, right? It says constant active player count equals get active player count. If previous player count doesn't equal active player count, we need to check and update the game status of the lot, and then we pass these parameters. And then we say previous player count needs to be equal to the active player count because we've just made a change to it. And then we increase the active player time and update displayed time. Increase active player time and update display time. Cool. So pretty easy to read a loop. The only problem is this check and update game status, still pretty hard to read through when you get down to it. You're like, okay, active player count triple equals 0. We need to move to start. And really what this is doing is it's saying end the game, right? This is saying lower the lava, end the game. So let's create a function called end, we'll call it lower lava group and end game. Because that's really what's happening here. So if we wanted to call end game, this is where this is going to happen. And we can now command X this singular line, command V here, and then we can call lower lava group and end game, parentheses. And then we need to get access to the lava group. So let's type lava group colon entity. And then we need to pass in lava group here. So now it says, okay, if the active player count triple equals 0, we lower the lava group and end the game. Awesome, makes sense. And then we have else if previous player count triple equals 0. In that case, we know that the game has just started. And so we want to start the game. So we're going to function start game, parentheses, curly braces. And inside of here, we can copy all of this code, command X, command V, and we'll call start game, parentheses, semicolon. We need access to the lava group, so we'll pass lava group, and then we'll get it here, lava group entity, perfect. Okay, so now this function, check and update game status, is pretty easy to read. See, it's like, okay, active player count triple equals 0. Now we're gonna lower the lava group and end the game, and else if it's triple equal to 0, then we know we're starting the game. Okay, and then in start game, we say overtime, and Shift Alt F to reformat. Overtime, we're gonna move to, and we're gonna start it moving to its destination. Now this isn't the long-term plan. I really wanna change the way this works. So I'm gonna put a note in here and then say, change this to starting the states, parentheses, i.e. easy to medium, etc. Okay, and then player data says for each player stats longest lasted time equals math.max. So this is going to, for each player, update their time, and this really needs to happen when the game ends, not when the game begins. Like, I can see where this is coming from. There's a bug here, though, that I realize that this addresses by doing it here rather than there. So if we do it when we start the game, we're using the last value. But when we end the game, we haven't actually done the last value. So here's the problem. If we go to end game, and then we follow this trail up, this came from check and update. And down here in check and update, you see we have the previous player count, but we've increased the player time after we've ended the game. So we're still increasing the player time even if the game has been ended. So what we need to know is the game active? And this is kind of a local variable. So I guess we can put it in the game manager data. Other people might need to know about it, which is why we put it in game manager data. So let's go to our game manager data file and say, is game active, equals false. And then command save. And then in here, when we go to increase, we can say if parentheses is, and this is in game manager data dot is game active. So if the game is active, then we're going to update the displayed time. And now we need to update the game active based on the start and stop. So down here, we have check and update game state. We have lower lava group and end game. And so ending the game needs to call game manager data dot is game active and set it to equal false. There we go. And then over here on starting the game, we need to set is active to true. So I'll say command C, put this at the bottom, command V, and set that to true. Okay, so now we've got a way to determine the game state, and we utilize that already, so that's great. Now, this part here where we're updating the stats for each player feels like something we should make into a singular line. Oh, and we don't want to call it here. We want to call this when the game ends. Updating the player stats should be happening up here when the game is ending. So Command X, backspace, and then we're going to say increase player time and update displayed count. We need one more function, which we'll put here, called function update player stats and leaderboards, parentheses, curly braces, command V. There we go. And then right here, we can call that, and we'll say update player stats and leaderboards, parentheses, semicolon. And then that says for each player, update their longest lasted time, checking with the math.max. And then if that time equals their longest lasted time, we know that there's been a change. So we update the player stats PPV. And there's one potential edge case where this could be wrong. So we need to figure that out too. Update player stats PPV. Component set score for the, oh no, that's fine. Longest all time, longest daily. So the problem is with the daily leaderboard. Because the daily leaderboard resets every single day, let's assume that getting to 20 seconds was the highest and it was really hard to do, but like you were really good at getting to 20. So if you get to 20 yesterday, then it resets to today, then you come in and get 20 again, it will not update to 20. So the easiest way to fix this is to say we don't really care too much about this verifying. This was supposed to be like an optimization step, but it really won't be necessary in the long run anyway, because there's going to be so many stats we're going to be updating. We're going to update it no matter what. So let's just ignore this optimization step we tried to do earlier and just instead always update the player stats, always update the leaderboards, never overwrite it so it's false. So we don't have to worry about that overwriting a higher score. So the higher score will always last, and we're done. Yeah. Okay, so this is pretty easy to read too. So now that this is fairly easy to read, we have finished what is a pretty complex game loop function, but it's been broken down to make it easier for future us to read this. Even though it was a lot shorter before, this is definitely a better implementation. Okay. Okay, done with game manager data, done with game manager func, done with game manager entity, done with PPV leaderboards and names, done with player stats, done with player data entity, done with stone pillar entity. Code, quit Visual Studio Code. So the next step that I take for me is I compress the current folder and then I send this to myself via email. And then on my desktop editor, I'll download that and then copy paste the files and overwrite the old files. That works. I also have a hard drive here that I might just copy it onto real quick. And I'll just do that. There we go. And right click, move to trash. Oh, actually I don't move to trash. I move this into my version history and then I copy this naming convention. Oops, Command C. Ooh, Command Shift C. Okay, move this one to trash. Slow down, sorry. Command C. Command V on current to rename it, but then change the date. So today's the 26th. The time is 11:52. And then I do 0 zeros at the end of this to differentiate. It's kind of surprising that was at 0 1, but I try to put all my like manually made ones at 0 0. And then we're done with current, so I can move that to the trash and then empty trash. Okay. So we're done with that. I put current over here, so I have that available to bring over to my other computer and eject, because that'll just be a little faster than email. Okay, sweet. Anything in here that I was supposed to do? I don't think so. So it's just time to go to the desktop editor and get this stuff going. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording here, and I will see you over on the desktop computer. All right, we are back over here on this computer, and that's cool. Gonna go ahead and jump into Horizon and tell you a little bit about the things I've been working on. Let's go open up the Link app. There we go, library, 3 dots, start in desktop mode. I've also got Euphoria joining us, so you might hear his voice or see his avatar around, popping. So that's cool. He's gonna be helping us with the 3D model placement in the world, which will be exciting. So we're gonna jump into Gotta Lotta Lava. And the first thing we need to do is bring in the new scripts. Now, it's been a few hours, admittedly, since we last talked, and I have done a little bit of scripting. So there's a few changes I wanted to tell you about. But here we are in the world. And I forgot to use my mouse. I'm like, I have a mouse, right? Come on, mouse. Mousy, mousy. There it goes. All right, got my mouse ready. Nice, I can fly around. That's fun. Okay. So looking around, we're gonna go find Euphoria and his pile of assets. There should be, there it is. So these are all 3D models we've purchased for a dungeon world that we're working on. And I thought could be ideal in here too. Is this all we have, Euphoria?
I'm bringing in a few more right now.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Very nice. And so while he's working on that, I'm gonna go to the scripts dropdown, go to the 3-dot icon, open scripts folder in Explorer. That's gonna go open this, we're gonna open that. And then that has all of our old scripts in it. And now we need to drag in our new scripts, which should be right here in the current folder. And when I'm dragging these in, I just select everything, and then I unselect using the control key on my keyboard anything that's not the tsconfig file, and I think that is it. So I'll just drag those over. Ooh, no, try again. And control and drag, there we are. So we're up to 30 scripts, and we'll replace 20 of those files that pre-existed. We deleted these two, so you can see the two that we deleted. So we're going to delete these two. I think we renamed them really, but that's okay. So that's done. New scripts are in, and then the way I like to work is to delete the current folder from here once I've downloaded that. So control and 3 dots, delete. There we go. All right. Now that that's done, open up the console, clear. There are a bunch of scripts we need to connect up. I have that on my to-do list, which is on my other computer, so you won't be able to see that. That's okay. I also wanted to tell you a little bit about some of the things I had done between recordings. So before we link stuff up, let's talk about the changes I made to the scripts. And so the first change was in the pillar script. So in stone pillar function, this I think is a new file. And I added 2 functions. One generates a random seed number. And so right now, Perlin isn't in the definition, add to user settings. So random seed is going to update the seed. And if you don't remember random seed, it's what we use to make sure the world is random. And so by setting random seed, what we're doing is we're actually in the game manager function, and in the when game ends, update in, where is end game? There's start game. There is check and update game status, which calls lava. There it is. Okay, so on end game here, I added set random seed. So after the game ends, it's going to randomize the seed. So that should create a lot more randomness, because I theorize it is possible for things to feel similar based on world. So this removes that. So you could have imagined prior to setting this random seed every game that if you played in a world for an hour, that hour might have been very monotonous. And I know that sounds really crazy because there's so much randomness happening here, but there are peaks. Like I had my brother-in-law playing this the other day, and he got to 47 seconds, but then I played for another hour in a different world, or like a different instance of the world, and I couldn't get but 40. And I theorized that he was on a random seed that had higher values, so he lasted for longer. And so that's why setting random seed after every game is important, is to increase the odds that you'll be on something unique and not just be in a good patch or a bad patch. Okay. So that's that one. And then I added another thing here. Let me read through. So I talked about that. I created what I'm calling a Perlin divisor. And so here we have a function to set the Perlin divisor based on the game state, which is another thing that I added. And so the game state has friendly, easy, medium, hard, and nightmare. And on friendly, I'm going to try dividing by 1,000, see how that looks. Easy will divide by 500, we'll see how that looks. Medium will divide by 1. Hard will divide by 0.1, which means it's 10 times harder than before. And nightmare will divide by 0.01, which is 100 times harder. So kind of curious to see how that plays out. We might need to change it up a little bit to see what works, but that's where I wanted to start. And let's go look at this game state. That's being defined in game manager definitions. And so here we've got enum game states, friendly, easy, medium, hard, and nightmare. And so you can see that that's how the enum was declared. And if you're not familiar with enums, we'll just talk about them another time, but they're pretty cool. And then we also have stone pillar data. And in stone pillar data, this is where the random seed is stored and where the divisor is stored. And if we go into the stone pillar script, or the stone pillar entity script, you can see that we are now using the the divisor right here. So the Z position and the X position are now being divided by the divisor, and that will allow it to be dynamically adjusted throughout the game, which is very cool. And let's see. The adjustments are happening twice per second, half a second, so that's good. And I wanted to double check that the random seed, where is that coming from? Plus I offset. I offset. Maybe I didn't set this up correctly. Where's I offset? This dot I times 0.02. This might be wrong too. There might be a lot more to work on here. What is I offset? This dot I. So we set this. Darn it. I have to adjust this. Well, we found a little quick fix here. So this dot I was being set on world start to random seed, but then when random seed gets adjusted, it's not adjusting this I offset. So we actually need a let for I offset. So we're going to change this. I is increasing here. I offset is going up here. And instead of setting this to be random seed, this dot I times 0.02. This dot I times 0.02. Let's think about that. So we're not going to set I on world start. What we need to do is I++ will always increment. This dot I plus the seed needs to happen before the multiplying by 2. So we say stone pillar data dot random seed, and then add some parentheses so that this order of operations is correct, and then control save. Okay. And just was like, wait, did I actually hit record? Yes, I did. So we got this being added to the random seed and then multiplied by 0.02. So now that's actually being taken into effect. The next thought in my head was that the division might not be small enough. I thought I did it right, but now I'm worried about this I offset. No, it must be good. But this 0.02 might need to be adjusted. So I'm going to put a red dot here to remind myself that we need to look at that. Control save. But I think that's all the things I need to talk about. We talked about the Perlin divisor. Oh, one more thing. Game manager function. I added another set of functions down here at the bottom called the game state loop. And the game state loop basically goes through and runs every 15 seconds when the game is started. And when it comes through, right click, spelling, add to user settings. When this comes through, it checks the states using a switch statement, and then if the case is friendly, it starts moving the lava based off of easy and sets the next state to easy, and if it's easy, it goes to medium, medium goes to hard, hard goes to nightmare. Nightmare doesn't do anything because it's already in the nightmare state, and once we're in nightmare, we don't do anything from that point forward. So actually, we do need to do this. Control C. We do need to have a case for nightmare so that it doesn't accidentally revert to friendly. Case game states dot nightmare colon control V tab break semicolon control save. Okay, there we go. That should take care of it. So basically, when it's in nightmare, we want it to stay in nightmare. So the idea is that in nightmare mode, you got to survive for as long as you can and see how much stamina you have to keep staying alive forever or for a very long time. So we'll see. And then there's also like luck could come into play there at certain points and just be bad luck. But yeah, so that's the modes are kind of ready to go. So I'm going to mark down that those are done. We talked about it. And we do need to play around with it a little bit. But the next things we needed to work on, let's see, there's lots of little things, so let's do a few of the little things. I already added Euphoria. Oh, wow. Are those rocks?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna bring in an unlit version of them to see if they shine a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah, they are a little dark.
Mm-hmm.
But they're kind of cool. Those would be kind of fun to mix in.
Right.
I'm wondering if unlit's not the way to go. Like unlit might show the texture, but it won't show the definition of the 3D model.
Right.
So we just need to brighten the texture. If you want to send me the texture on Discord, I can return the texture back to you with some stuff. Yeah, I'm looking at the Mayan temple.
See if there's any like little props in there or something.
Yeah, I don't see anything I super love for the matching of this theme. So I think we're good. Did we buy those characters yet? The kind of enemies yet? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll have to come back to that. For now, these are some cool props. I'm mostly interested in like the metal bowl. It's kind of cool. Is that the same? That's a different metal bowl, isn't it?
Oh, I figured out that we had the textures wrong last time when we were doing it.
Ah,
Like the wrong picture for them, and I figured out which ones went.
nice. That looks so much better. That's super rusty. I kind of wanted to put like a lava inside of it.
Right.
Something like it's
And
storing lava.
these rocks are LOD 0 to LOD 4, so you can like choose which.
Oh,
version.
really? Very cool. Very
I
cool.
wasn't sure if like you wanted like the super low quality. Or
Yeah.
if you wanted that.
I'm looking at the images you just sent. Opening in
Yeah,
browser. Save image as. There are 3 total.
Yeah.
Okay, downloads, new folder, call this one rock images. I'm trying to think if there's a better way to increase the brightness of these. I mean, we could put light on them, but like we could literally just shine light on them. I'm thinking about it.
I mean, you have quite a bit of light down here, don't you?
That's true. There is some light in it already.
Oh, it's still pretty dark though.
I was thinking we need to add a white light because that's an orange light. I'm coming down to you now. Try putting, let me pull one out real quick. Let's see. Gizmos. We have the static light gizmo. Hold on. There it goes. And then let's adjust static light to be a cuboid. And then increase the intensity to 5. What does that do? Did that change it?
I don't see it loading yet, I don't think.
It's definitely changing the rocks around
It's
it.
changing around it.
Are you sure you didn't bring it in? Oh, there it goes. That was weird. That took a long time to affect it.
Oh, I'm starting to see it. See a little bit.
I don't love that. Gonna go ahead and delete the light. I also didn't really like what the light did around everywhere else. Okay, so I've got those images downloaded. I think I'm gonna have to open them in Photoshop. Downloads. Rock images. Right click.
This is
Open
the
it.
same one, but the higher version.
Okay.
This is the same. Looks to be the same file.
Oh, the light affects it more because it has more triangles for the light to be casted on.
Has like more faces.
It's weird because I'm looking at the image on my other screen and it's just so much brighter, all like in the Photoshop version.
Right.
I'm gonna add an adjustment later, and I really want to keep the poppingness of those bright oranges. So I'm gonna try using a brightness and contrast where I increase the brightness. I'm doing it by 100. It's quite a bit of brightness. Contrast should bring that down nicely. Contrast of 50. And then if I turn that off and on, that's pretty nice. Okay, I'm gonna try and copy paste that to all of them. And Command C, Command V, Command V, file, export, quick export as PNG. New folder, create called exports, and save. File, export, quick export as PNG. Okay. Second one's done. On the third, file, export as PNG. Okay, third one is saved. Yeah, these are kind of interesting the way they look. Okay, Photoshop, quitting Photoshop, don't save, don't save, don't save. All right, I got 3 files, sending it back to you if I can. Come on. All right, sending, uploading, and 3, 2. There they are. Cool. Don't forget to click open in browser so that they aren't the low res versions.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so we'll see what those come back like in a minute. I just deleted the 2 rocks over here by the lava pool, just for now. And let's go back over to here. And there were some other things I wanted to look at. Let's see, where was my brain at last? I'm gonna add place 3D models. Oh, set world to 16 players. That was one of the easy ones. So we'll go to world settings. I think that might be, try player settings first. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna try, I kind of want to try 20 players. This definitely feels like it could be easily a 20-player world.
Oh, I think so.
Like 16 is where I would normally go, but 20 feels probably better. Might even try 24. Yeah. Can you imagine fighting 24 people in this? It'd be chaos. Could be a lot of fun too.
Right.
Okay, emotes are allowed, emote audio is allowed. Can hands collide with physical objects? Sure. With static objects, no, because that adds complexity. Custom player movement, we're not going to do that. Generate instant replays, not going to do that. Frame budget, we'll do the default. Spawn nearby, allow players to spawn nearby other players when joining session. I don't see why not. That would be kind of interesting. I don't know how that works, but if you could spawn next to a player, like you're in the middle of the lava when you join, that'd be kind of funny. Footstep volume is off. I kind of want to turn that on. I feel like that could be really fun to hear people running around. Footstep volume of 1. Minimum distance 1. Maximum distance like 20 maybe. So you really only hear people nearby you. So you hear someone jettisoning towards you and you're like, oh no, I hear someone coming at me. That could be fun. Hide action buttons by default. I like to turn that on. Disable dynamic LOD toggle on avatars. No, we want to keep that for this many players. Enable max quality avatar. Definitely not. Save. Okay, so properties for the players have been set. Can mark that as done. In desktop editor, create player persistent variables. Okay, so we're going to go to our systems tab. Come on, systems. Hello? Horizon is responsive, but for some reason the systems tab is not.
Maybe because I'm loading in those assets right now.
Oh, is that it? Okay. Yeah, nothing inside of my Horizon window is loading. It's crazy how that can cause such lag. Okay, it looks like it. Oh, there it goes. Now everything's trying to do all the things I clicked on. Okay. Try systems again. Systems. We're going to start with variable groups. I'm going to create a new variable group, which is going to be called Gotta Lotta Lava. Click create. And then in Gotta Lotta Lava, we're going to need the player stats JSON variable. So we'll create a variable. We're going to call it player stats, which will be a JSON object, and create. All right, so player stats has been created, and we also need to create some leaderboards. Okay, so the leaderboards are up next. Go to the systems dropdown, leaderboards, add new leaderboard. The first one will be the longest lasted daily. Longest lasted daily. And this will be descending, resetting, and we'll set the checkbox to daily. Give that a second to load, come on. Oh, there it goes. All right, sets every day at midnight PST, okie dokie. Reset persistent variable, we don't have a persistent variable, so that's fine. Click create. And then we want to do another one, which is going to be called longest lasted all time. All right, which will be descending, no reset, and create. Okay, so those are the two leaderboards we needed to create. Nice and nice. And then in desktop, oh, I wanted to ask you for help. Laex.
Oh, those rocks are in here, by the way. If you want to check them out.
Okay. How do you think they look?
They look a lot better.
Oh yeah?
Like way better. They're a lot brighter.
Okay, I'm coming in to look.
I'll put them beside
Oh,
them,
wow.
so you can see the comparison.
Wow, you're right. Wow.
So that went a long way.
That did go a
These are-
long way. Let's grab the middle LOD. You don't happen to know the stats for those, do you? Off the top of your head?
I can look them up.
The number of vert counts for the middle. I imagine the middle is going to be a good way to go because it's not going to be too many. Although, honestly, it seems really low poly. Like,
Let's see.
maybe we go with the middle top LOD. It's got a little more dimension.
I'm assuming this is showing, it says a little bit about the tries on it.
Yeah.
And it says it goes from 8K down to 84. And then that's the cliff. The rock goes from 4.3 is the highest detail and 74 is the lowest. And then 4.6 for the plate K and then 56 tries for the...
I unfortunately don't fully understand that, but that's okay. Which pack did we get these out of?
This is just a free stylized rock pack I just found.
Oh, sorry, I meant for you to use just the ones I had bought because I'm worried about the licensing. Can you send me a link to it?
Yeah.
They are pretty rocks. Let's see. Logged in, and the answer is that stylish rocked. Technical details. Maximum polygon count 8,000 tries. So the high ones are really high. So definitely don't use the high. But the second to high seems like they're probably okay. Texture dimensions being in 4K is kind of crazy, but we don't have a ton of texture in here right now. We might have to change that up later to be like a 1024.
Right. There's only the three pictures for all of them, so.
Wow, those small ones really are just 74 triangles. That is pretty nice. I'm trying to find out where the use restrictions are. Is this literally allowing us to use it?
Let's see. There's usually like license type right underneath where it says like.
Here it says, before submitting this asset, publisher must ensure. No, okay, that's not it. Maybe we're totally allowed to use it. Oh wait, is it? There should be something around here. Oh, license agreement, standard Unity asset store EULA. I think that means we can just use it. We just can't like sell it and do, you know, the dumb stuff. Sweet. Okay, as far as I can tell, we can use these. Nice find. We'll take some free rocks. I'm so used to like Fab and the other websites that make you list people's names, which I'm not opposed to. It's just not easy to do. And I haven't.
Right.
I want to build a custom UI utility that we can just drop in every world to list out that type of stuff, but I just haven't got around to it. Okay, so yeah, let's go with the. I'm gonna just quickly look again at
One dungeon
these.
pack is just a dungeon lights pack, so it's just lights.
Yeah.
And it's just candles, the bowls, torches.
You know, the middle
Chandelier.
isn't bad. Let's go with the middle one. Let's go with my original gut on middle. I'm going to delete these big ones over here. If you want to just delete all but the center 3. Oh, no.
These ones are groups though.
Oh, got it. I was like, wrong center. Nice, perfect. Okay, yeah. So those 3 will move over into this little asset section. Do we have anything else from the stuff we've purchased?
The other stuff was like space. It was like the mine stuff, and then there was like a space. So I don't know if it would go with this. There
Fair.
is other stuff, but
Okay, yeah, no worries. Totally good then. Okay, so next up, I could use your help with a couple things, Euphoria. So if we go into the world, do you see the little spawn point gizmos all over the place?
yep.
I'd like to make a lot more of them. They're just really hard to do on desktop editor. Can you place these around the map, excluding the top area? Like, I don't want people to look outside of the world, so they need to be on the second tier. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay. So do I just duplicate them?
Yes, all you need to do is duplicate them. That's correct. Yeah, you can pause the world. Why is my spacebar not working? Oh, I forgot I have a broken spacebar. Oh, I'll stop the world. I realized what happened here. I'm sorry. I'm not on my normal computer, and so it auto starts simulation, and I forgot to turn that off. There we go.
Is this too out in the open? They can still get over here? Like, can they still pop back over here if they need to?
Yes, that is definitely available for going to. You're pretty good at parkour, yeah?
Yep.
Oh man, my spacebar really oh. Spacebar just does not work on this. Can you see if you can make it from here to that thing there? Because you're not supposed to be able to get up there. In fact, I'm a little worried about just the vantage point from there. You definitely can't.
I can't.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've seen people do like weird jumps before.
Yeah, do you mind just scaling that specific block up? I'll tell you where, like higher than that. And that should be good, right? Yeah. Yeah, that looks real nice. Cool. All right, so let's keep adding a lot of these. Like, I would say it's fair to put one on almost every single spot. And if not everyone, then every other one. The idea is that if we have 20 people playing, we don't really want them spawning on top of each other, at least very rarely. And so the more of these we have, the less likely they are to be standing on each other. Awesome. Let me go mark that off the to-do list. Thank you, Euphoria. And then I had a couple other things I was going to ask you to do too, since you have VR and it's so much easier to place things in VR. But let me know when you're done with that, and I'm going to work on a couple other things I need to finish. Okay, so the next thing I needed to do is create an empty for attaching the component utility. So I'm going to go pull out empty object, move this or rename this and call this component util, and then scroll to the bottom and attach the component utility script. Okay. Now that that's attached, I like to move this to 0, 0, 0, 0 tab, 0 tab 0. All right, so that's been set up. And then I also needed to create an empty for game manager that references the lava group. So here we go. Oh, that reminded me of something important. Empty object. I forgot to load in. There it goes. Game manager. Alright. Attach the game manager script.
Alright, I'm done with that.
Sweet. Can you pull out 2 leaderboards and put them in the load-in lobby?
Yeah.
And when you load in the world spawn point, there's an area to the left of that area. That's where I'd like to put the leaderboards. Let me know if you need me to help identify where that is.
I think I got it.
Okay. All right, so the game manager entity is set up, but it needs to reference the lava group. Let me go search up lava. There it is, right at the top. Lava group is now referenced. And then the next thing I need to do, we're going to need to leave the world and come back for the leaderboards to work, maybe.
Okay.
Did you?
You say you want 3 or 2?
There's just 2 leaderboards for now.
You want them in dark mode or light mode?
Let's go dark mode. So the lava group has a script on it that needs to be removed and deleted from the world because we're no longer using it. So I'm selecting the lava group. At least I'm trying to. And then we'll go to scripts drop down. I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with my Windows computer. I might try reinstalling Windows again or something, because it's so laggy. Like, it could be Horizon, but I think it's Windows, because it used to perform a lot better before my most recent install of Windows.
That's no good.
Yeah. I'm also wondering if it's related to what you're doing. You're just pulling out. You're just moving.
They're already out.
You're just moving them? There
Yeah,
are
already done.
16 errors on the console related to leaderboards, despite the fact that you've
Yeah.
done nothing. It's like, what?
Yeah, I haven't even clicked anything on it. Is it because there's nothing on it?
Reference each of the 2 leaderboards. Do you see the 2 leaderboard names there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to delete the lava group script and confirm. Okay, there we go. We're done with that. Okay, so now that that's done, that's been unattached from the lava group, so that's been taken care of. And Euphoria has created the leaderboards. I'm going to go quickly look and see where he's put them. Go look around. That's not bad. I'd like them to be on the other side.
Like over here?
Yeah, I think that would be good. So it's more visible, because when you come in this way, it's hard to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that wall that you suggested is going to look best. And then we should probably change the scale of them too, to be a little bit bigger. Let me preview into the world so you can see what a human looks like. Oh, I guess they're not terrible. Never mind. Actually, you know what? Those are good sized. Are they slightly different in size though?
No,
The one on
at
the-
the same time.
The one on the left seems slightly longer. Is it that the number of entries is set to 9 on the other one?
They're both on 10.
Really? Let's just delete that one and duplicate the other one. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's such a
Is it
trip.
smaller now? Is that one get smaller again?
No, I think it's right now.
Okay.
I might be tripping. I don't know. I'm now actually perplexed. But yes, and then thank you. And
So
then Maybe up a little bit. Just a hair up. Perfect. Right there is great. All right, resets in 7 hours, 10 minutes. Longest lasted all time. And yeah. I think what we want to do...
if you wanted like certain names for them, I just wrote what the values were.
I appreciate that. Do you mind sliding them closer together?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it totally is. Might have to lock that, or not. It totally is shorter. Like,
I think you have some kind of illusion you're saying.
is it the same size for you? I'm gonna say I have to screenshot this and send it to you.
I think it's like the side you're looking at, because you're like not exactly in the middle.
Oh boy, am I directly in the middle? I cannot wait to show you how directly in the middle I am. Snip. I gotta grab the snipping tool. Snip and sketch. New. Oh boy. Square. And I would like them to be closer together, but it could just be me right now. I'm not even gonna lie. It literally could just be me right now. Okay, copying it, closing. Gotta open up Discord.
So you can see it both in one window.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that's perfect. So on mobile, when you click on something, it zooms into it. But this will allow you to use both at the same time.
Okay, I see what you see.
Oh, now you see it?
Yeah, okay, I actually see it now.
What the heck?
I actually copied it, and the group is the same size. Or, is it 10 entries? 10 entries? I can duplicate it one more time. I don't know how that would happen.
I think we need to leave in... Oh, it's the resetting. The reset value.
Oh, that has a little...
You've got to be kidding me. Okay. That's going to drive my OCD crazy. I cannot believe it. You're just going to resize it to be slightly taller?
Yeah. I
approve of this message.
Oh, does that bug you now? Oh wait, no, it wasn't like that anyways though. Is that? Never mind.
I think it's better now. There's something like I'm always going to feel like something is wrong.
It's like, what do you want to line up, the buttons or the...
Oh, there's so much to be upset about with this.
The buttons are... I know.
It's okay. We do need to leave and come back for these leaderboards to work, I believe. So I'm going to exit the world. Escape.
Okay, I'll go to...
And then we'll wait like 3 minutes, and I'm going to review my notes and see what's up next. Okay, so... In desktop, create empty game manager, reference lava group. That is done. Longest time survived. We haven't done that yet. Place 3D models. Haven't done that. Okay.
Is there anything else you want me to take a look for specifically?
Maybe look back through our messages about dungeon assets we were thinking of buying, and if there's a pack you think could go really well with both worlds, relink it, and then I might go buy it. I had a message on Discord. I'll look on my other computer. And let's see.
Mine temple with that. Just a dungeon. Treasure chest. Fire. Cauldron. And there's a 3D fantasy environment. Oh, this is like a castle, but temple.
Okay, I'm gonna head back in and see if things are working while you keep looking. Sorry, my brain was in another place. I'm not like looking if there's something you're showing, but I assume you're not.
Oh no. I'm just looking through. A lot of it was like chess, castle-y type places, like temple-y.
I'm very tempted. Sorry, my brain is just jumping all over the place right now. But I kind of want to publish this world, like, as soon as possible. Like, this feels so good already, and just adding 2 leaderboards sounds like it would be so much fun to compete with. Like, right. And then everything else that's added to this world is just like extra sauce. So far, so good. Let's check the console. And no errors in the console. I'm going to go check the leaderboards next, see how those are looking. Leaderboards look good. They are referenced correctly, it appears. Good stuff, good stuff. I also wanted to check the game manager was set up correctly, and it is good. Okay. Hitting play, no errors, turning down the volume. Jumping into preview mode. So far, so good. Jumping in. Oh no, this seems dangerous.
What?
This is supposed to be easy for the first 15 seconds. Are you kidding me? Okay, there are definitely some errors. I mean, it's definitely a work in progress. Okay. Gotta stop the world. I don't know what's happening. Oh, I do know what's happening. Okay. I hadn't started it as easy. The game starts. There's a couple things that need to be changed when the world starts that I just haven't done. Give me a couple seconds to adjust these values, because the world start values are different. So the this is in the stone pillar data file, and I thought 1000 was too smooth, so I want to change the divisor from 1000 to 100 and see what that looks like. Control save, and then going back into the stone pillar functions. I need to turn on the light in here. It's getting dark. Where's the? There we go. That's better. Okay. So then in the set Perlin divisor, I want to change this to 100. I want to change this to 10. And then this is 1, then 0.1, so there's a factor of 10 every time. So we'll try that out, but then the default starting point is 100, so that's going to fix that problem. And then the other problem was that the lava starting value was wrong. So let's go find Game Manager Func. When the loop goes off, it's more like when the world is started, we need to move to that starting position. So that would be under Game Manager Entity, actually. So right here we've defined the start position, and we redefined it by adding 0.2 to it. So I want to then go and say props.lavagroup.position.set to the Game Manager data.lava group origin position. So we just readjusted the origin position. Control save. Okay, that should solve the 2 bugs that I saw. There was one other bug that was super strange, but it was the lava was rising too fast. Like, it was scary fast. So that was in Game Manager functions, but I don't think it'll be that scary fast. It just could be scary problematic. So easy could just kill everyone. Okay, so get this. Oh no, this is problematic on such a huge level. I'm gonna have to solve this. But let's hit play on the world, and if you look at it, that's easy right there. You see it?
Yeah.
I believe, and that's a problem because there's nowhere left to go, and then it opens on the other side. Did you see it?
It's like a running back and forth type thing.
So it's
Kind of cool.
It's cool for sure, but it's definitely not what we need. So inside of the stone pillar functions, I was using 100. I'm thinking we start with something a little more intense, like 5, and then 2. And I need to set the default value in here to 5. Control save. Okay, we'll give that a second to compile. And almost done. Okay. Are you almost done? Wow, that took a while. Hitting play. Okay, so this is the new easy. The idea is that it should be slower and also easier to see things kind of moving. Before he's in on it. He's ready to play. You were the first person to play in VR, I kid you not. My jump button does not work when I hold down the shift key for some reason. I think it's like... Yeah, so I can't do run jumps. On this computer at least. Okay. Wait, this is getting harder. I forgot to do a post that says what difficulty setting we're in. Oh, I died. This is definitely getting harder. Okay, I need to go do a pop-up that says... Get out of there! Behind you! Oh! Okay, that was fun. I'm gonna create a pop-up that tells you which difficulty mode you're in so that we know that you're in which difficulty mode. So, Game Manager function has time pop-ups right now, but I'm going to copy this function, Control C, and then inside of Game State Loop, when we assign a new state, we're going to Control V and Alt arrow up and Alt arrow down and backspace. We're going to need to do this for every player, but only if, so we say if, parentheses, the current state does not equal next state. So it means we've changed state. So we say if game manager data dot current state does not equal next state, that means we have a new state to apply, and so we're going to display a pop-up, which we can do by taking player data map dot for each parentheses player data comma player, and then arrow function, curly braces, I like semicolons, enter, semicolons like blushing at home right now. Just kidding, semicolon. And then what we're going to display is the current level. So we're just going to say next state dot toString. I don't know if I need to run a toString on it. Next state. Yeah, anyway, we'll just do a dot toString just in case. And that will display for 3 seconds to tell you what state you're in. And Control save. Cool. So we'll let that compile. Wrong button. There we are. Once that's compiled, we should now be getting updates to know which state the game is in. And every 15 seconds, we should see it changing. And then we can start adjusting the parameters of the different levels to actually make it easy, medium, hard, and then nightmare. Because I'm really curious. I think you only made it to hard. I don't think you made it to nightmare. All right, hitting play. Let's go ahead and jump in. So far, this seems pretty easy. Oh, I forgot to look for the pop-up that said easy. Oh, and my timer is continuing. Oh, no, it's not. My timer at the bottom, it shows you your best time. I forgot about that feature we added. Oh, no.
Oh, nice.
Okay, what's happening? Did it change states for you? Oh, I forgot to make it a stuck pop-up. That's what it was. Let me know if you see a pop-up. Can you stay outside of the map?
Medium.
Oh, you saw it say medium? Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't make it very far. Okay, so we need to make this easier, first and foremost. That's obvious. So the other thing is that this pop-up is supposed to be a stuck pop-up, which is a special type of pop-up I created. So we'll go ahead and hit Control Save. And then we'll go to the stone pillar functions. The divisors seemed okay. The problem was the height of the lava, which is right here. And the height of the lava for easy is set to 0.4. I want to change that. Oh no, it's set to 0.2, isn't it? Yeah, it's up here somewhere. Where do we set the lava? There it is, 0.2. Let's set the easy to 0.1. We'll set, sorry, that's friendly. Then easy is 0.2. And then medium will be 0.4. Hard will be 0.6. And then nightmare will be 0.8. And I don't think that's actually survivable at 0.8. So I'm thinking maybe even 0.7 is probably plenty high to rise it from 0.6 to 0.7. We'll give that a shot and see what it's like. Okay. And back into Horizon, wait for that to compile. It's gonna just take another second. Clear. And play. All right. That easy still looks pretty hard, even though I've lowered the height of the lava. All right, we jumping in. Here we go. Time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 12. Holy shit!
It just changed dramatically.
It did. Oh, it killed us. It killed me.
I blocked that slam dunk into the lava.
That was so bad. Well then. That was kind of funny. I know what happened there. I don't Oh shit!
I don't know, it's kind of cool.
It's like easy.
I'm watching for it now.
And so when it changes state, it starts to like go real crazy. Come on. Oh man, I keep missing the jump. That was medium. I missed the medium switch. Medium definitely feels like it's survivable. As I die. I might have to watch you play because it's really hard on this. Oh, I can't get in. It's too far away. I'm just gonna watch. Oh, you're dead. Okay, and then the lava starts to shrink. And then theoretically, if I jump in, the lava should drop to the lowest level. Oh, I missed it. It did happen. Oh, I keep failing at this jumping thing. Okay. And I really want the bottom pop-up parentheses to show that the 32 that I'm seeing is the best. Okay, I have to fix that. I cannot with that. Oh my gosh.
Catches you off guard, right?
It really does. That's so wild. Okay, so then there's lots of thoughts in there. Let's start with the easy one, which is to change the pop-up bottom message. So somewhere in here we have display pop-up. So I need to find the places where we're calling the pop-up func. And then that's right here. And it says play display me, and display me has parentheses. But before the parentheses, I want to type best time :space. There we go. So that's now there. Control save. And then the thing I wanted to try and fix was this flipping out that happens when it changes state. So I wanted to try and like not change more than a certain amount. Like there's going to be a maximum speed. So when that happens, there is going to be a dramatic change when the game mode shifts. So it'll still be dramatic, but it won't be like instantly you're dead. So
Right.
To do that, I have the stone pillar entity. Let's go open that up. Stone pillar entity. And this is where the scaling is happening. And so what we need to know is what the current scale is. So the previous scale. So we'll create a parameter called previous y scale. And that'll be equal to 1. And then in here, we're calculating that. So we'll say next, so constant, next y scale equals this value that's being calculated. So I'll go ahead and copy this. Control X. And then Control V. Ooh, Control V. There we go. Semicolon at the end. All right, so we've calculated the y scale for the next y scale. And we have our scale 2. And what I want to do is run inside of this scale 2, a math. Ooh, but I need to do this somewhere else. Basically, I don't want it to change more than a certain amount in a half second. And at the end of this, I need to adjust previous y scale to next y scale. So I say previous y scale equals next y scale. And then inside of this scale 2, I'm thinking if I can do if parentheses previous y, and I need to do actually math.absolute value first so I can get whether it's a positive or a negative change. And so then I take previous y scale dot minus, so we take the previous y scale and minus the next y scale. That gives us the difference, and if the absolute value of that difference is greater than 0.25, so it can't change more than, oh, but it's a scale parameter that goes up by like 5 meters, so the value should actually be ranging quite substantially. So we'll say if it's changing more than 1.5, no, changing more than 0.75, okay. If the scale changes more than 0.75, what we want to do is slow it the heck down. It still should be fast. Maybe even 0.5 will be considered too fast, because the idea I have is to create what will feel like an easing function almost, and then else will scale to the desired y scale. So next y scale will equal this, and then we should change this to a let. And so, and then actually we can move this out of the else. And so what we do in this case is we change the next y scale. So scale to the next y scale for sure. But then if that value is greater than 0.5, what I want to do is find the midpoint between those two. And we can do that using lerp. And I don't know if lerp is built into math. I don't think lerp is in here. It's not. And that's okay, because lerp is pretty simple. So what we need to do is take next y scale and say it's equal to current or previous y scale plus next y scale divided by 2, and that's lerping to the 50% mark. Okay, simple as that. So that should slow it down considerably. It'll still go super fast, but it'll slow it down considerably. I think it might still be too fast, because that will get there. It'll get 50% of the way there in half a second. Oh, how do I slow it down even more? We take the previous y scale. We need to know the direction that it's going, if it's positive or negative. So we got the absolute value, but that got rid of the positive or negative. If we say constant difference equals this value, Control X, Control V, semicolon, absolute value of difference goes here, and then we can use if parentheses difference is greater than 0, curly braces, else, and curly braces. Okay, so if the difference is greater than 0, then let's think about this. Previous y scale, next y scale. So if the previous y scale, let's say it was 0, and the next y scale was 1, 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Does that actually make sense? Maybe I need to reverse the way this is thought of. If it's going to 1, it should be increasing. So let's reverse this. Say the next y scale minus previous scale. Next y scale minus previous y scale. Okay, so now 1 minus 0 is 1, and so that would be positive. And so if the difference is greater than 0, we want to go by 0.5. So we say next y scale equals previous y scale plus 0.5. Ah, this works because it slows it down to the maximum speed threshold of 0.5. That could work very well. And then that's actually 1 meter per second, so it's still insanely fast. Like it's falling very, very fast. Next, y scale equals the reverse of this, which is previous y scale minus 0.5. Okay. And that should be possible because these are both math.maxed already, so that should prevent them from being crazy. Crazy. Why do we allow that? Negative 3.9. Oh, because it's being multiplied at the end? Why? Because there's something happening that I'm missing here. Minus this dot distance adjustment. Distance adjustment must be 4. Distance adjustment is 0. 5 multiplied y. I know this works because I've seen it work, but I don't understand why it works. Okay, at some point I'll need to go back through the math on this and actually understand it better, but everything's working, so I'll hit Control Save, and this should all work well as well. This is way too much math. Even my brain is tired. So let's go. Oh, the reason it was negative 3.9 is because that returns a negative value, but that doesn't make any sense. How in the world is this working? Start scale, scale 2. Oh, we have a start scale that we're adding to. The start scale is 4. Got it. Okay, now it all makes sense. Never mind. I understand now. Happy brain. Clear. Okay, so theoretically, I don't even remember what I changed, but this should be better. Tired brain, don't even know what I just did. But that looks pretty good for easy level. Okay, it's clipping a little bit. Time 2, time 3, best time 32. I like that it says best time now. That feels a lot more clear.
Right. Now we got randomly done.
It's about to happen. Okay, we just loaded to easy, and it did actually apply the effect, but it was so slow you didn't even notice it, which I think was okay. Like, normally we would have noticed that, so I'm kind of perplexed why we didn't notice it. Did you notice it anywhere? Medium just happened.
I didn't notice it at all.
Oh yeah,
It's going down.
it definitely is going down, and you have to find a safe place. And it's
But it's
actually
not like-
really hard. Like, when it switches,
Right.
it's actually really hard. Oh, we just got to hard. Oh no. Oh no, I don't know where to go. Okay, so hard was way too hard. There was nothing left. You're supposed to be able to make it to nightmare.
There was technically, yeah, I was gonna say there was technically none for a second until when.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the last one you stood on, there was nothing for you to jump to.
That's funny. Okay, so we'll go into the scripts, and we're going to the stone pillar function. This is all fine, I think. The real problem right now is still the lava height. So at 0.1 for easy, that seems okay. 0.2 for, 0.1 for friendly, 0.2 for easy. I might try just going to 0.3 for medium, 0.4 for hard, and 0.5 for nightmare, and let's see what those look like, because I'm thinking that might actually be okay. Like a 0.1 increase every time. We'll play it out, see what happens. Give it a second to continue compiling. It's almost done. 2 more. Oh no, it's good. Okay, hitting play. Here we go. Jumping in. So these definitely feel a lot easy, like pretty easy. There's lots of places to go. It's kind of interesting though, as the lava rises, it's clearing out a lot of spots. I actually like it. I thought friendly was going to be a lot friendlier than it was. Like, definitely not complaining. Alright, here it goes. We're on medium now. Everything's dropping. Find something that's going up. So when you change, you really want to find something that's moving in the upward direction. Oh shit! I fell in lava. Otherwise, you're pretty much dead. Like if you don't find something going up when the...
This one's going up. This one's going up.
Right? A hard just came on. Oh no. No!
Oh my god, I just made it.
Okay, stay alive, stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. Oh no! Stay alive. Stay alive! I'm trying to make it to you. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh no.
I can't make it. Are you in Nightmare yet?
No! Oh.
You didn't make it to Nightmare, did you?
I don't think I made it.
Okay. Nightmare might not be real. Okay, but I think we can...
Oh, you're gonna have some people that probably get really good at it quick.
Let's try one more thing here. So in the code, the values were pretty good. Easy was almost too hard. Like, or excuse me, not easy, but peaceful. Like this peaceful level was almost way too hard. So I'm gonna change it to 0.5, so half of what it was currently at. And I'm gonna shift everybody else down by 1 level because I think, so here, I haven't said this, I don't think, and I know I haven't told you this, Euphoria, but the idea between hard and Nightmare is not the lava level that's changing. It's the speed of them moving up and down and the frequency that they switch direction. And so on Nightmare, they're changing direction 10 times more than they were in hard.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so like you're supposed to get to Nightmare and actually be like struggling not because of the lava level, but because like things are changing. So anyway, lowering the lava level is probably okay. We'll see momentarily. All right, so I've hit play. I'm gonna jump into preview. Don't jump down until I say we're good to jump down. I wanted to just watch this for a minute. So this is the lava at its lowest level. And you can see things sometimes disappear, but they come up pretty quickly. So this would be like the easiest easy level. Like if I didn't change the lava level, this would be considered 0. So I have it currently at 0.05 is the lava level is going to increase to. So we'll give that a shot and see what happens. Like you should be good. Like this is easy. And then easy happens and it goes up just barely by another 0.05. Because we're at this point we're not trying to kill people. We're just trying to give them a fun time.
Right.
You remember that game I showed you a while back where the point of the game is to see how long you can last? And you're like, it's Super Hexagon. You remember that one where you're like spinning around in circles trying to, and there's like the music and you only play for like 5 seconds at a time, but it's like, then it's 6 seconds.
I don't think I remember.
Oh, okay, it's not in Horizon. It's a game on Steam. Anyway, that's the idea behind this, is that I want people who are struggling to play to just keep getting progressively slightly further and slightly further.
Right.
Oh shit! Nightmare just enabled and I instantly died. Nightmare seems like the lava height is still a little too high. Hard didn't feel hard enough. I feel like... Yeah, I got some ideas here. So, stopping the world. So the idea I have is easy is going to stay at 0. So, well, 0.5 seemed fine. It was still pretty easy. 0.1 seemed good. And then medium didn't feel hard enough. So I'm going to change it to 0.3. And then hard was just too hard. So maybe we won't move the lava after it reaches 0.3 on medium. We'll just keep the height of the lava the same, and the only thing that's changing is the pacing that I mentioned. So I'm just going to turn off the moving of lava for medium or hard and Nightmare. So the lava level will stop at 0.3, which is dramatically sooner. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. And we might go up to 0.35 even. So if this is still too easy, then we'll go to 0.35.
Right.
Okay. And play. Preview. Here we go. finally got my space bar working somewhat.
Nice.
Like shifting, spacing, running.
Pretty inconvenient thing to have broken while working on this game.
Yeah, it's only while I'm out on vacation, right? Vacation, holiday. I don't know what do you call Thanksgiving when you have to see family? Obligations. Oh no, I fell in the lava. Okay, stay alive. The best part about this is that you get to keep coming back in when you die. I really enjoy that until everyone's dead.
Right.
So as long as one person can stay alive, you get to keep jumping in, which is kind of fun. Okay. Hard just enabled. Find something going up, find something going up. Oh, I fell in the lava! Oh, I can't make it. Oh. Oh. Wait, did we both die? Oh yeah, it reset the time. Okay, so I wrote a line of code that's supposed to snap the position of the lava down to its base position when the game starts early like it just did, but it obviously didn't work. So I think I'm gonna go and remove that line of code because I kind of like what just happened. So we started the game on easy, but the lava was really high. Did you notice that?
Right.
And so the lava was actually going down for the first 15 seconds to get to the easy point from the hard, which was actually a lot of fun to play. So we were playing easy with hard levels of lava, basically. Kind of fun. Fun little Easter egg, really.
So will it be like that plus whatever when it was last played on, kind of thing?
No, it does reset, but it takes 9 seconds to reset, so if you don't wait the full 9 seconds, it goes down instead of up. Just confusing, but kind of fun. Okay. You found a good one.
It gets so intense too as soon as you get around to like your time you're trying to beat.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, like that's the intense marker.
We're doing pretty good. We're almost to Nightmare. Nightmare just hit.
Ah!
Still alive. Get in again. Get back in, get back in.
I tied my best time.
I just hit my best time. You know, it doesn't really feel like it's moving that much faster. I think it's because of that limitation I put in of the 0.5 meter move speed. I'm not sure if that's the case though. Like we're just keep going. We're gonna have to reset our player persistent variables. This is not supposed to be possible. This is fun, like, but like you could be here all day. So okay, gonna have to stop that. So I think for Nightmare, we actually increase the height. Control C. Ooh, but do we do that in medium? Maybe we do that in medium when we go to hard. So in hard is where we increase the height. Control V, because I really want hard to actually feel hard, but we're just gonna increase it by just a ½ meter. We'll see how that feels, or a half, whatever that is, whatever that value actually is. And then the problem I was having was there was a thing up here I needed to delete. Here it is, where I set the thing. I think it's because of the move to needed to be delayed by, but I don't really care because I think that's kind of a cool secret feature. Control save. And then the other problem was it didn't seem to be moving very fast. Like it was shockingly slow. I expected it to actually move. Oh, but that was because I felt because of the limitation I'd put in. And so, let me find that. That was in the Stone Pillar Entity script. Okay, here it is. Stone Pillar Entity says, if greater than 0.5, add 0.5. If absolute value greater than 0.5, then add 0.5. Let's change this to 1. and see what this feels like if we change it by 1. So theoretically, this should increase the fastest speed to twice as fast. Yeah. So we'll go into the world. Clear. Is there any way I can reset our leaderboards and variables? I think I have to delete and recreate them for them to be reset. It's okay. Okay, play and preview, and here goes nothing. Jumping in. Best time 103 seconds. Ain't no way I'm gonna be able to get that again. Oh, easy. Yeah, I got lucky and was riding one up, but they definitely seemed to move faster that time. Did it seem faster to you when it switched? Here comes medium. Did the change feel faster?
Yeah.
All right, here comes hard. Some place to go. All right, and we're on to Nightmare.
Oh no.
Okay, Nightmare actually feels a lot harder this time. Oh, I'm out. 67 seconds. Definitely doable. Let's watch the lava flow back down. So the lava goes down over the next 9 seconds, which I think is kind of cool to watch. And then it's back. So I want to reset our leaderboards and our persistent variables.
I thought that one was a lot better though, for sure. Like, it didn't feel like it was gonna be forever. It had like a nice flow, but
Yeah.
you could see it getting like harder and harder.
Yep. And if you got lucky, but the thing I think is you could actually keep playing, and that's what's cool. So there's like a little bit of luck in playing a good map.
Right.
Yeah. Let's go again and see. Me too. I was on the same one.
It went down too much and I couldn't make it.
I really love the smoke and the sounds of people dying. Oh, no. Oh no. This is actually way too much fun. This is why I want to release it right now, is because I feel like people would have a lot of fun with this already.
Right.
I got my VR headset. I could actually pull it out and play this too. Like, I could come in as Laex 05. Alright, are we in Nightmare now? I guess I'm in a lucky spot. This is Nightmare though, isn't it?
I think so. Oh. You're about to, oh, never mind. You got lucky there again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that got me. Okay, so are they moving faster is the question. I have an idea. In here, we're using this variable, and if we go into the stone pillar data, we can create a new thing called max speed, max scale speed, and then set that to the default of 1, and then when Nightmare hits, increase it so that it can move even faster in Nightmare. Because like that almost felt too easy at the end. I was like, this doesn't seem hard. So max scale speed is set to 1, and then in the stone pillar entity, I can use that in place of 1. So we say stone pillar data dot max scale speed, and then control C, and control V, and control V, and control save. And then if we go back to the game manager function, in here we were setting nightmare, but we really want to do this in the stone pillar function. So when we're setting friendly, we want to set this to 1. So we say stone pillar data dot max scale speed equals 1. And then when we get to hard, we set this to 1.5, maybe even just 2, just practically lift it, control save. And we'll see if that makes a big difference on the speed that they're moving at. Like, I'm curious, very curious. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to change. Like, I'm almost thinking about changing the divisor here to be higher, 0.001. Change this to 0.01. Control save. Okay. Alrighty, and Horizon, clear, wait for the last compilations, and play. Alright, so a few small tweaks, but we'll jump in and try it out. Easy. All right, medium just hit. Whew. There we go. That's hard. Oh shit. Okay, they definitely move a lot faster. So changing that number definitely worked. I like that was like, it could have killed a ton of people. Like if this had 20 people in it, they would have all been like, no, hard! Okay, and the nightmare just hits. Woo! Still alive, still alive. So there's that kind of sudden change. I have an idea on how we can make it so that every 15 seconds in Nightmare, it does that sudden change again, which I feel like would be a huge added intensity boost for Nightmare. Because right now, once you get to this, it's almost casual, right? Like, it's still hard. Like, I like this.
You don't, oh, dang.
But those changes is where it's at.
That is true. It is like random. Like, in my head, I feel like it's almost inevitable until I get a bad, like, kind of shuffle, but at the same time, it could not. You could just keep getting.
Yeah, I've literally just got my best time. Which is crazy. Okay, I'm stopping so my time is getting higher. What we want to do is make it so every 15 seconds it chooses a new random seed. And so right here I have set random seed as a function. So in the game manager function, when we call Nightmare, we're setting next state to Nightmare, but we can also call pillar func and then dot set random seed. And by setting random seed, that should change every 15 seconds and just totally kill a bunch of people every 15 seconds. So you have to be really good, which I think would be fun. Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah, especially for Nightmare.
All right. Clear and play and preview. All right. Feel free to jump on in. Can you imagine somebody who gets really good at this game and they're like 10 minutes of just playing Nightmare and nobody else can survive? They just keep going. It's like, why? Why are you still alive? No one else can play now. All right. All right. Just 4 more seconds, and then we're gonna hit our next scary.
You always need to do it like just for that elimination.
No! Oh, we didn't even make it
to
to Nightmare.
This is gonna be intense enough, but if you feel like that to be a thing, it's like too bad that like everyone who's eliminated can just attack that person.
Oh, right. So I want to add snowballs.
They all just hang up.
Like, legit. If we added snowballs, though, they would freeze you for half a second. Can you imagine? You're like standing on the sidelines just chucking snowballs at people. That'd be kind of fun. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. I think I just want to reset the leaderboards and our player stats, and then see what else I had on my to-do list. You can keep going until you die. Place 3D models. Ah, we haven't placed any 3D models yet. We probably should be tracking the number of people defeated from the beginning. Oh, I really want to publish this so I can play, but I think I need to keep developing it. It's so much fun, though.
Right, I think at least for a little longer, because I think it's going to be like.
Oh, I'm so tempted to publish it now. But yeah, okay. Stopping worlds. Let's go look at those 3D models. And the answer to the 3D model question is...
I also see a pack that's called, is it called Low Poly Lava World?
Oh, right, right.
With and stuff. Send it to you in
Okie doke. We have new flame assets. We could use those with these torches. Or even the bowls.
Oh, yeah.
Let me look at your message.
You can even color some of the flames too if you want.
Okay, $11, low poly lava world.
See another rock. I'm trying to look for like low poly or stylized. I think it doesn't have too many
Yeah.
faces on.
There's some interesting pieces. Like, if I wasn't... I think I'm going for the hexagon-like look, though.
Right, okay.
And I think I'm really just looking for, like, more, like, assets that can be added in. More like these torches and bowls and stuff.
Like, just decorate. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
less rocks, more...
Just like decoration, right?
Yep.
Okay.
There are some cool things in here, though. Like the spikes small. Those are kind of neat. Yeah, I think if I was going to use the stuff from the low poly lava world, though, I would probably make them myself in Polysketch, because they're very Polysketch inspired in my mind.
Right.
Pretty easy. Okay, let's slow down. So... I'm thinking we add a few of these torches around. I'm going to delete the stuff that I don't really want from this torch pack. And, ooh, that's just a hanging chain. That could be cool.
Yeah, it can also, I think it can hook on this, but it's also separated. So.
I see, I see. This is kind of cool, but I feel like it just doesn't match the vibe. Okay,
Right.
let's start by taking the torches. Can you grab that and bring it to the lobby spawn-in area? And then let's put it on the outside right now, like the outside left, right, and far right. Yeah, so left, center, exactly. Yep, yep. And then just do one for now, and let's pull out the flame gizmo after you get that roughly in place. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that gizmo while you place it.
Okay.
Let's go VFX. Go to fire.
How high do you want it to be? This is me standing here.
That seems about good. Okay, so I pulled out the VFX gizmo. I don't see it do anything yet. There it goes. All right, prefab name. There are campfire, candle, colored fire, fireball, on fire, torch. We'll try torch first.
On fire is kind of funny. It's literally like on fire.
All right, I have to preview the world to see it. Okay, do you want to try placing that? That's actually pretty good. Is there properties on it to change like the size maybe?
I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah, there's global scale.
Let's
and
try.
There's also flame animation speed.
Let's take global scale down a little bit.
Okay. Here's 0.5. So this is.
Maybe hit stop and play again. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's much better. And then let's change the animation speed to be like maybe 75% of its current speed.
Right now it's 0.35.
Oh, okay. So let's go to 0.2.
That's better.
Yeah, I like that. All right.
Is it low enough? Do you want me to drag it down a bit lower?
I think that's pretty good.
Good.
And then let's put one on this wall right here, so that's visible as you're exiting the cave. So you load in back here. If you look to the left, you would see the stats. All right, and then we'll need to add that flame on top of it too. Or is it there already? Just not.
It's there, it's just not.
Oh, okay, got it. Nice. And then let's do the same thing on the other side of this. So like right here on this face.
And the inside face?
This face and...
Or do you want to tilt this a bit? Do you want this face tilted so it goes more like with that face? Or
yeah, let's do that. And then I would rotate this one too. Right? Just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, that seems good. And then... yeah, feel free to add those on the outside there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a look at it from over here as well. Nice. On mobile specifically, from a distance, they are so tiny.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I like the size of them, but I'm worried that on mobile it just doesn't feel.
Right.
When you get close to them, they're not bad. They're still a little small though. How are they in VR? In VR, they probably feel.
On VR, if you go close to it, it almost looks like I could have dragged them down a bit. There's like a tiny little space like this right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then do that. That's probably a good idea.
Okay, that is okay. It actually looks like it's coming right out of there.
I'm trying to think where these bowls should go. I feel like those should be placed like on the pillars around the thing, with a big campfire fire inside them.
Right.
Let me see if I can try and place one of those myself. Let's go. Is it out this way? Yes. Alright. Control D to duplicate. That should move it to the bottom. And then I want to go to one of these pillars. Let's say,
Are these like as expensive as the other effects we used to have?
I don't know. I imagine they're worse, but it's to be determined.
Right.
So I'm going to try and paste it on top of this one. I don't know if you can see where I'm at. I think you can.
I can't. No, you're just a little.
Oh.
Supporting.
That's too
Tiny
bad.
bar.
Well, you'll see it here in a moment.
Do
You see it selected?
you have the? Do you have the bowl?
I am about to paste it right there. Can you
Oh,
move the spawn point that's on top of that pillar?
which one?
Oh, you'll see it in a second. Oh, darn, it didn't work. Oh my gosh. Okay, do you see the spawn point I've selected?
No.
Oh, Horizon doing me bad right now. I tried to copy the position of this, but then it wouldn't let me paste it. I really hate when that happens. Copy position.
I can move whatever.
Yeah, I'll have to ask you for help in a second, but I'm going to try one more time just in case I can get it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is I can't tell you. I guess I could jump into preview mode. Okay, yeah, so if this fails, I'll jump into preview mode. Simple as that. Okay, and paste. Okay, it did work this time. And now I can grab the move tool and then slide that up. Okay.
Oh, I see.
So I want to place this one on here, but like move that just down one to the left right there. Perfect. And then let's change that bowl to be bigger. So like 0.02, 0.02, 0.02. Okay.
Nice.
And then maybe even a little bigger than that. Let's try 0.04. Oh, that's a little too big. 0.03, 0.03, 0.03. There we go. And then you can drag that up a little bit. Basically, I want you to be able to see this one from everywhere and it to be filled with a massive amount of fire.
Okay.
So this will help make the place feel lively.
Right.
Okay, and let's go to prefab name, go to campfire, looping, and custom effects properties, global scale, set to 4, and hit play. Ho ho! Can I have you position that nicely? Like, it looks pretty good actually.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I can't really snap very easily, so yeah. However you think it's gonna. Oh man, that looks so good.
Is it going through the bottom or no?
No.
Tiny. You see just like a hair.
Okay.
Okay.
That looks so
That
good.
looks so cool.
So let's add a few of those around on top of like
I was
the
gonna say, don't you just
larger.
want to put a bunch of those everywhere?
Not a bunch, like max 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely want
You
more.
just
Of
put on
those.
some of the tall ones, maybe.
Exactly. That was kind of what I was
Really?
thinking too.
Like this one. Wait, are the? I guess. Do we need to make sure about them not blocking anything? I guess people can jump around it too if they need to.
Yeah, they can jump around it. They can jump in it. Would be kind of fun too, right? I think the big
Right.
thing is to make sure they can't use it to escape. Nice.
Yeah, I guess I could just pull this. And this one to the person. Oh, I see this one.
Can we
Is that
move
one
it
too
back
far out?
towards the wall? Like, yeah, that way to the right, just like you just did, but more. Yeah, that should be good. Nice.
Over here, maybe like one.
Yeah, somewhere over there.
Unless you want me to put it one of the lower ones.
Ooh, it's not a bad idea.
So then it's like kind of like right.
Yeah, helps differentiate it too.
And it's honestly, they're all generally kind of like on the same level. I could. Actually, that one's.
No, I think it's good. Let me take a look from down in the arena.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
They all
fun.
look generally on the same like level.
Oh, you know what we need next to them? We need to be able to hear them. We need flame sound
we need some
effects.
fire sounds.
Yeah. They're just totally silent. The quietest flame. Let me know if you find a good one. Sounds. I'm searching torch right now. There's blowtorch. There's no way that's the right sound effect. Probably fire. Searching fire. There's a bunch of fires. Oh, but they're firing weapons.
Bonfire.
Bonfire is probably the right one for those, yeah. I'm wondering about the torches too.
How far should the sound go? Like 10 meters or less?
Try 30 meters.
30?
Yeah, so like if you're at the base of it, you can hear it. Kind of adds a nice sound to the field. That fire sounds like it's raining. Okay, there's fire. Oh, sorry, I'm trying some of the fires. There's fire loop 1, fire loop 2. I'm trying both of those right now. Fire loop 2 is just pitched up higher. What about -8? No, it still sounds like rain. I'm starting to hear your fires. I'm going to adjust some of the properties if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to change the volume to 0.4 so it's a little more in the background. Pitch seems okay. Maybe -2.
Does pitch randomness do stuff if it's like a sound like this? If it auto
I don't know if it's a looping sound, if it changes anything. I've not really seen it before.
It's just like every time it plays initially it probably does.
I really don't like that high-pitched sound it has.
I know. No, it's like just something like around it.
I'm going to delete it. I almost prefer campfire small loop. That's not what the one we were using. Here, let me pull this out. So here's campfire small. Let me hit play. That seems better.
Or like a crackly like.
Yeah. I just lowered the pitch even more, changing the distance to 0 and 35. All right, let me jump into preview mode and listen to that. That seems good, especially with the little bits coming out of it. How's the distance, especially in VR?
I still hear like. You hear it down. I can hear if I walk over there.
It seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and
Or duplicate it.
yeah, let's put that on each of the fires. Sweet. Okay, anything else on this to-do list for today? Results custom UI is not done. Placing 3D models, we did a good amount of that. There's only one other one I was even interested in, which was the chains, but I think we're just going to delete that for now. The chains could be cool, but I don't really think they're necessary. It would feel a little too, I think, dungeony maybe, even though I like the idea.
Yeah, no, with the chains and everything, everybody might have people starting to think that they're like, you're trying to escape hell.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't bring the lava rocks in. Okay, I'm deleting all of that now.
Yeah.
My big problem with the lava rocks was really they just clashed with the hexagon vibe.
Right.
Which is such a nice simplistic look. Yeah. What is this? Game manager. Oh, I forgot to move it to 0, 0, 0. 0, 0, 0. Okay, so next up I need to delete our persistent variables, which I'm going to do by saying on we have player stats function, and then we have update player stats, and here we were saving your last time, so I'm just not going to save last time for a second, and instead I'm going to do leaderboard so I need to do component world leaderboards set score for player parentheses, and then we do ppv leaderboard names leaderboards longest lasted daily, comma 0, comma true, and then command C, command V. Oops, excuse me. What's wrong? Oh, I forgot to provide the player. Where's the player go? Right here. Yep. And then Control C, Control V, and then change this to be longest lasted all time. Control save. Okay, so all we have to do is join the world, and that will reset our scores. Just give that a second to compile. Clear. One more time. Maybe. There it goes. All right, hitting play. Let's jump into preview mode. And then we should be able to just leave the world, escape. And that should save when you exit the world. And then stop.
Okay.
And now I'm gonna go turn off the code. Okay. Now, back in Horizon, we should have reset our stats so we don't have crazy stats. So the leaderboards show cleared.
They weren't clear when I saw them. I'm just trying to translate.
Oh, they are. They say 0 for me. Yeah, you're good. Okay, cool. I'm gonna jump down in the lava and instantly kill myself just to see time of 1. Oh no, it shows my best time of 103. What the heck? Is your best time showing up?
I'm just supposed to travel that.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think somewhere along the lines it didn't save when I left the world. It probably only saves your persistent variable when your value is changed. Dang it. So that probably means I have to just go undo that again. Yeah. Sorry, I gotta stop the world and try again. Let's go here, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, and then what I want to do is run update player stats immediately afterwards. So I'll call update player stats, parentheses, player, comma, player data, and Control save. Okay, so now entering the world should be all we need to do to get this to reset it. I'll let you know when. All right, play, jump into preview mode, and then escape, and stop. Okay, and now I can revert the code, Control Z. And
It says 0 for me.
Control save. Yeah, that wasn't the problem. So it should be good now. The problem was something else that I had messed up. I had forgotten that I think the only way that player persistent variable is being updated is when you actually play the game. So, whoops. So like if you came into the world and then left, it would just never save your persistent variable because you didn't do anything. So, kind of makes sense. Play, jump into preview mode, check the leaderboard. All right. Mine still says 103. Why didn't that reset? Does it say 0 for me?
It says 103 on yours, and it says 0 for me.
I'm going to return to my creation home real quick. Leave. It should have set my leaderboard to 0 if the last line of code went wrong. Feeling like I'm trying to go too fast and I might have messed something up, although it could just be a visual bug. Don't really know which. I might try using preview mode from...
Well, do you need us both just to leave for like a minute to like reset?
I don't know. Now my screen... Oh, there it goes. Up into preview. Still shows 103.
Yeah, the same one.
I think the easiest thing to do at this point is to stop the world, go up to leaderboards, and just delete them and recreate them. Edit, copy the name, Control A, Control C, cancel, delete, delete. Create new, Control V, Control V, create. Okay, longest lasted all time has been recreated. If you wouldn't mind putting that back into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then add a new one. Longest lasted daily. Okay, Horizon. Horizon treats me so bad sometimes. Daily. Longest lasted daily. Reset frequency, daily, and create. All right, and now you should be able to put the daily into daily. Sweet. Okay. Let me pull out my VR headset.
You really blended the skybox in here very well.
Yeah, isn't that cool? That was an accident.
Yeah.
That was such a cool accident.
Like it makes it look way less like an orb.
I'm sorry you didn't hear it.
It looks less like an orb to me now. Like, you know what I mean? How some of them you can tell that you're in a ball. It doesn't feel like that as much.
Yeah, it's quite neat. Okay, I'm gonna grab my VR headset so I can join you.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do a workshop this Friday, which needs my headset to be streamed to the computer. Might actually be a great opportunity right now to try setting that up real quick so I can practice run for Friday.
What workshop are you doing then?
It's the final workshop for my cross-screen series, and we're going to be talking about optimization. So if you're in the MHCP, you can join the Discord for that. And I'm planning to actually use this world to talk about optimization. Like I'm going to go in, pull out the stats, and then run through this world and see how the stats perform. So, pretty cool. I'm going to go and close out of Horizon on my computer and try to get that set up. I won't be writing any more code. Going to OBS. OBS is still doing good. Say hello, camera. Oh, I need to open Wi-Fi. Oh, I really hope the Wi-Fi here works. The hotel Wi-Fi here. Sometimes they don't work with headsets. This one looks like it's gonna be okay. Signing in. Needs me to insert an email address. Maybe. Oh no, it's still loading. We'll see what happens. Okay, in the meantime though, I need to load up on the desktop with the website for viewing, for streaming to, which I want to say is horizon.meta.com/device or something like that. I don't know why this is not loading the website. Oh, there it goes. I just had to hit refresh. Okay, insert email here. I'm so confident they're selling all of my information, and it's so frustrating. I thought about putting in a fake email, but I've already put in my real email, so I might as well continue doing that because they've already got it. Continue. I like to insert stuff like not email at fake.com or like weird emails like that. Just like anything I can do to get around their automated system. Okay, I am in. Horizon has an update today, so I need to install that. And I also want to start streaming, so let me get the install on the update first. Search for Horizon. Requires internet. Dude, you're on internet. What are you talking about? What? 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 Why are you telling me I'm not connected? I'm on a website over here, but it says it's not connected.
You have to, I've had it happen to me when I've been at a hotel before, and it'll say it's connected, but you have to like go to browser, and then it like signs into their hotel thing. You have to press connect and accept or whatever.
I did that already. That's the crazy part. Yeah. I might try disconnecting and reconnecting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, now the internet's gone through. It took the headset a minute to realize what was going on. Okay. Horizon, 3 dots. Doesn't even know that there's an update yet. 3 dots. Okay. Well, hopefully it realizes there's an update soon. And in the meantime, I want to try the streaming button. How do I stream? I haven't done this in so long. I thought there was a button right here on the settings page. Enter immersive. Oh, yeah. I do think it's funny that they don't default me to immersive view anymore. And so I've just been in pass-through mode, and it's disgusting. I just ignore it that it's in pass-through. Like, I don't know who likes being in pass-through. I would much rather be in the super high-fidelity worlds here. So crazy.
Here's the blurry vision of your living room.
Right, like I didn't need that. I didn't put a headset on to see a blurry version of my living room. That's exactly right. 3 dots. I do not know how to share my screen anymore. I cannot, for the life of me, find the share button. Is it under camera? Go live? Cast. Okay, it's on camera. Cast to web. Oculus.com/casting. Next. Okay, here we go. Oculus.com/casting. Alright. And it needs me to log in. Hopefully just clicking login will work. It did, perfect. And now it says, go to the website. I'm on the website. Press the button, I already did that. Go to camera, select cast, select computer. I already have done all that. I'm logged in as, I'm logged in as the wrong account. I'm not in as Vidyuu, I'm in as Laex. Switch over to Vidyuu. I meant to be on Vidyuu's account anyway, so this will all work out. Fortunately, the Wi-Fi does transfer between accounts. Thank goodness for that. Okay, I think I can start sharing my screen again. There we go, and back over here. Jeez. Oh boy, Verizon is funny. Search for Horizon because it still needs to install the update. 3 dots. It really is not giving me the option to install the update. That is sad. Oh, but I need to share screen anyway. So go to here. Oh, and I'm still not in immersive view. Gotta create a new boundary. We'll do that one more time. Confirm, stationary, confirm. Okay. And now go to camera, cast, to web, next. There we go. Okay, now that should appear any second over there. Hey, now you guys can see. Okay, I can do this on Friday. We got this, so sweet. There's the full screen button. All right, now it's in full screen, so that's being captured. And I guess we'll just jump into Horizon. Sure seems to think that Horizon is updated, but like I installed an update this morning, didn't I? Didn't I? Today's Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesdays are update day. I don't know. And Horizon crashed. Oh, no it didn't. I was like, classics, just lots of classics here. Okay, crazy, I'm in. I'm shocked. Go to the Create tab. Go to Gotta Lotta Lava, Edit World. Here we go. I've just realized that Gotta Lotta Lava is so early in the game development cycle, we don't even have a logo for it yet. So that's kind of fun. Do you mind hopping into build mode and hitting play world?
Yep.
Sick. Can you jump into the game? Oh, right there. Never mind. I got it.
Oh, well.
We're good. I got the picture. I got the picture of a lifetime right here. It's got 4 fires. It says jump in, and it's even got lava. You were almost in it. If I had waited 1 second, you would have gotten to be in the photo. Share to Horizon Worlds and submit. All right, photo's been posted to Horizon. So the next thing to do is to use that as the world picture, and then publish this and test it with 20 people and see what the heck happens. Am I crazy? Mildly, yes. I guess we should play 1 round just to make sure it actually does play and the loop works. So here we go. And I also haven't played the haptics before. Oh, this is crazy in VR. Wow, these are so much bigger in VR than they feel like on mobile and desktop.
Oh, really?
Like on desktop, these things feel kind of tiny. Like there's just enough room to stand on them. But in VR, it's like, oh. Do you feel any motion sickness playing this? I can't make the jump.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, it's going down.
But I always, like, I'd never get the motion sickness, so I'm not the right person to ask.
This feels like it could cause motion sickness with all the things going up and down.
I don't know.
But fortunately, this is a mobile
It's-
competition.
It's not like it's anything too crazy though. It's not like
No!
You know what I mean?
Okay, that was my first time feeling the death haptics. I need to pay more attention to that. 48, 49.
Oh,
Oh no, I died too. Okay, that was good. That was good. Wow, this is wild. I really do like that skybox. Like when you look up.
right.
Oh, I'm getting-
If you double up.
I'm getting Quest Pro streaming lag. I hate that lag. Do you ever, you're not on a Quest Pro. Ugh. Quest Pros are the worst. They have so many
But if I
problems.
record, I've had it though. Like if I record a video or something, I just get that like.
Oh, the jitter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why is it lagging? Oh, it's not me. Actually, that's a curious question. I should just, in preparation for this Friday, don't tell my bosses. They hate when I do things that I'm supposed to do for work for the general public. I shouldn't say that. Between you and me, Euphoria, and everyone who happened to listen to this recording, I'm dead.
Oh, we got psyched out.
We should
Didn't
try
go all the way down.
the performance tools real quick. So we go real-time metrics. Okay. Draw calls are at 300, which is kind of high, but this type of world, being mostly primitives or primitive type shapes, is fine. FPS is super low, but that's because I'm streaming simultaneously. Do you have the performance metrics, right?
Yeah, I have it out right now.
And it's 72 probably.
I'm at 72 right now.
Memory's at 2.6, not bad. It's like half of the 5,000 targets. We're good there. Verts are only at 24,000 out of the target of 1,000. Don't go to 1,000, guys. Like that's not the target. The real target's 200,000, which is 200. Like these numbers are totally off. Okay, but we're doing good. I think we'll be fine with 20 players in here. We set it to 24 players, didn't we? Man, this is gonna get wild just in a minute. I probably need to tell people that I'm streaming. Jumping in there. I'm not streaming. I'm recording. Okay, we're done with the metrics. The test went. It's gonna suck because I'm trying to show people performance testing, but I can't really show them performance testing because when I stream it, it impacts performance. So
Right.
I might have to like turn the stream off and talk to them about the actual numbers I'm seeing. That might be the best way of doing it. I'll try that.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
Attend Friday to find out what I actually end up doing. Okay. Oh, and these in VR. Yeah, these look great in VR. It's so crazy how on mobile things are just so different.
Did it
This
look like
looks
tiny?
so good. Yeah, they look really tiny on mobile, but these look so good here. And these things look massive in VR, but I kind of like it. I don't hate it. I kind of
I
like
think
it.
it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like from the start, when you're just looking out, it looks so good. Like all the little fire pods.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else we can do in here, like to make this feel more interesting. So basically, in my mind, when you get respawned, you want to know where you're at in the world. So if there was like a lava waterfall maybe somewhere, but I don't know how to make that look good, or something else. I don't know what else, but something else needs to be out there. So we'll have to look into that, figure out what we can do. For now, though, we got the picture. Let's get that added to the world page. Let's go world, go to choose thumbnail image, select from photos, select, jump in, confirm, okay. Got a lot of lava, and this would be alpha, parentheses, alpha 1, beta 1. Maybe we'll call it alpha for now, and then next week I'll change it to beta, and then we'll just remove the tag entirely. That seems fine.
Right.
Outlast your friends. That seems like floor is lava! ! Outlast your friends. That seems like a great title for this.
Right.
Floor is lava. Floor is lava. Outlast your friends. Floor is lava. Outlast your friends. Okay. World rating is going to be no violence, no blood, no weapons, no nudity, none of that. Things that might scare people? Not really.
I don't think so.
So you get the thing, body humor, like burping, throwing up, or gas. Burping is considered body humor? What? Oh my gosh. You've got to be kidding me. Next. Who do you want to see your world? Anyone. Your world's rated 10 plus. Oh, how cute. Cool. Comfort rating. There is a decent amount of moving in here. So I'm thinking I have to go with
I
somewhere.
don't think it's intense.
It's definitely not intense.
Honestly, I think it's really close to being comfortable, but move a lot.
I'm putting it as comfortable because I want it to be between comfortable and moderate, but I feel like moderate might scare somebody away, so I'm gonna just go with comfortable.
Right. This isn't like a roller coaster or a ride,
right?
Or something that might.
Tags, action, adventure, battle royale. Battle royale. I mean, it kind of is. You got to last your way out.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
There's so many tags here. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Hang
It'd
out.
definitely be like a party game.
I don't even see party game. I'm there's so many options.
Oh.
I was gonna read through them all. Oh, there's party game.
How many can you do?
I have no idea.
Like a 3 type? Oh.
Is this a platformer? I don't think I know what a platformer is. It's
like kind of
simulation, spooky, sports, strategy.
When I think of platformer, I think of games like Mario.
Yeah, that's what I do think of too. This is a romantic game. It's very steamy. It's a nature game. This is a nature world. Might call it action.
Right.
Okay, you get 3. Action, battle royale, and party game. Seems good enough to save. Okay. Mute assist. I've had mute assist in Murder Manor for a long time, and lately I haven't enjoyed it, but I haven't been playing recently. I just didn't like the way the pop-ups have been annoying when you join, and so I'm going to turn it off.
What does mute assist do exactly?
Well, it gives you a recommendation. Do you want to mute somebody? So if someone's talking really loud, it'll ask you if you want to mute them, but then if you accidentally hit it, you will mute them.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of reasons I was for it because it was supposed to help with some of the toxic behavior that we see in VR environments, but
right.
Wasn't the best. Available through web and mobile. Yes, absolutely. Okay, Gotta Lotta Lava is ready for publishing. Player settings are set to 24. We did all the good stuff. We did all the great stuff.
As far as when you do publishing for testing and stuff, is there any any certain things that we have to do?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stop the world to be on the safe side here.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Clear. Ooh. Should have had a. Okay, and agree. Publishing. Boom. And then I'm gonna have to. I want to play as Laex 05, but I guess I will be playing as Vidyuu for at least this little bit here. I wanted to check and see how the computer's power is doing because it's really low. It's at 19%, yeah. So it could crash at any minute. Close that in Discord. It's one of those days, and that would potentially corrupt the video. So we'll make this quick. I think the world's published, so we'll jump in to world, publish world page, and go click heart, save, visit world. All right, if you want to jump on me, I'll let you know when I arrive.
Sweet.
I've just arrived.
Enjoy.
Yep, sweet. We won't jump in until we get a group of people here. Oh, we forgot to play a couple games. Or we did, I guess, and it did seem to work. So apparently I survived for 52 seconds. That's cool. You survived for 47? Do better. All right, I need to open my status. It says active in world, so people can find me. Let's see, anyone I see online that I'd like to invite. I think Joe would enjoy this. Invite to world. Anyone else? See if Chupa wants to come by. Bruce Wayne. Invite. Invite Atomic Texan. Might be interested. Antonio. Euphoria's already here. That's the end of the people who are listed as officially online. I won't bother anybody who's offline. Oh, Cray. Of course I want to invite Cray.
I have so many people that are offline right now.
Hey, Atomic Texan. By the way, I'm recording a video, so you're in the video! I'm just sending out a few more invites. Oh my gosh, my buddy Flex is online, but I think he's at a party, or he's at a fashion show. Oh, is today? Oh, I'm such an idiot. I feel so bad. I think today is the fashion show. Oh, I forgot about it. Well, you know. Wait, I thought that was on Wednesday. I think it's tomorrow. Maybe they're getting ready. I don't know. I sent invites anyway. Okay, cool. Welcome in. So, I think you've seen some of the work on this, right? Nice. Well, thanks for stopping by. Hey, Bruce Wayne. We're doing our first test. I have a recording I'm doing because it's for a video. So, no pressure. But feel free to come and check this out with us. We haven't jumped in yet. Only Euphoria and I have actually played. So, oh, he's going. I guess we'll join him. Here we go. Good luck. Oh, I'm already dead. No, I'm still alive. Woo, that was close. It was very close. We're in the easy state and I'm almost dead. So there are, 5 stages? It starts in like a peaceful state, and then it jumps to easy, and then it goes medium, hard, and the last state is nightmare. And good luck. You can keep jumping back in if you get out. Until everyone's dead, so feel free to keep on dying. Oh no. Hard. Oh boy. Where are we going? Very nice. Oh boy, oh no. Oh, I can still get in. Let's get, oh, Euphoria's still alive. Alright, time's up to 60 seconds. Oh no. Oh. People are still alive. Get back in. Okay. Oh, no. Are we all out? Yeah, I think we all died. Yeah. We definitely all died at some point in there. That was my best time, 65 seconds. All right, just made it to easy. And then what you'll also notice is every 15 seconds there's kind of a massive shift where everything just kind of tries to kill you intentionally. Ooh. No. Where am I going? Ah, that's it. Oh, I'm out. Can you guys all try to die in the same position? Oh, okay, interesting. The smoke effect only stays where the most recent person burned up. So I kind of want to write that down as a to-do item, is to get more than one. I'm kind of curious if the sound effects are behaving that way too. Can I have you guys try dying real quick on either side of me? Okay. And then... Okay, yeah, it stops both the sound effect and the visual effect. Cool, thank you guys. Oh no. So close, so close. Try pondering around these edges. Bruce Wayne, if I remember correctly, you're really good at glitching into places you're not supposed to be. So just for reference, my goal is that nobody can get on the topmost section. Basically, I don't want you to see outside of the circle. So if you pull that off, will you please let me know? Try harder. Just kidding. You can do it. You can do it. There it is. Nice. And he's dead. And he's dead. Just watch this for a minute. Very cool. You know what I haven't noticed, Euphoria? We turned footsteps on. Do you hear footsteps? No, I don't either. Ah. Yeah, I hear the landing sound too, and that's it. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording there. I'm going to go add a couple items to the to-do list. And yeah, thanks so much for joining in this video. Bye! The classic hand buy. We haven't seen one of those in a while.